Champions. Here you going. I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you to like the stream. Like me like your mum does. Or used to. What's going on? What am I doing? There we go. Oh, hang on. Hey! I think I've got to get rid of Droid Cam that I put there in my bodgy last stream. The refret stream. Right, what am I doing with my life? Sorry I'm late. I did the old wake up at 3 AM and think about the future. Not be able to get back to sleep. And then get back to sleep at like 6 AM. When I should be getting up. Yay. Is that a fart? No, you'd know if it was a fart, mate. Alright, scrolling back. How is everyone? Joshua Stevens, new member. TikTok. Yeah, I'm a bit late. Not that late. 10 minutes late. Come on. It used to be like 20 minutes late. Remember that shit? Before Live bought me the watch? Checking in from Cairns. How is it up in Cairns? We're getting nice and warm weather. It reminds me of Queensland at the moment. But you guys don't even get winter up there. Picked myself up a nice DAD 555A at a pawn shop for $45 and it has a battery door. It has a battery door. What do they normally go missing? They're unobtainium. Ah. The DAD stuff was really good value for money back in the day. And they had the cheesiest 90s paint jobs on them. Which actually I found quite endearing. How's my white balance today? Do I look a bit paler than usual? I don't know. Maybe it's... I'll probably bump this because I mounted my... Now I look yellow. Now I look like I'm watching a TV. That's probably about right. I mounted the light up on a baby plate on the wall just to get all the shit off the bench. I'm just trying to clear the bench, champions, so I feel a bit less... I started to feel real closed in this area because there's all lighting stands and clamps and shit on the bench, and I started just feeling a bit encroached upon, so I just rearranged everything to try and mount stuff on the walls instead. And like I was saying last stream, I've got to think more about how I'm going to film guitar stuff, because I hate having a tripod in the way on the ground and you got to step around it, you trip over it and risk knocking over your camera, friggin' $1 million camera. The stream started and ended. No, it didn't. Maybe your browser needs refreshing there, Scotty. Oh, it's working again. Ah, he's figured it out. Check back soon. I have holes to drill. What are you making? What are you making, Lou Woods? AKA Chris. I was the pedal king in the 90s before Josh Scott took the crown. What was your company, Scotty? I feel like maybe you might be under the radar a little bit in terms of your past work. Yeah, back when you could buy tone benders and stuff for $300 or less. Back then, you know, before the whole vintage shit took off. So, like, I was sort of started looking into gear and stuff. Sort of late 90s when there was sort of that still hangover from the I don't want your granddad's guitar kind of deal. Vintage stuff wasn't as valued. Like, you'd see a brand new shiny pedal and you go, oh, wow, it's the new tech. Because the other thing you got to remember is tech was advancing so quick at the time in terms of DSP and whatever, that often the new product sounded so much better than the old product, and the old product didn't sound good in a traditional sense. Like, the improvements were overall improvements. They weren't taking a bit of the soul out of the thing. They were actually getting rid of the ridiculous amount of noise and stuff like that. So, like, particularly with the digital processors, they started getting very good very quickly. And guitarists being simple beasts probably applied that logic to the rest of their gear as well, even the analog stuff where it didn't matter so much. That looks a bit more natural. What the fuck was that? Ah. Hear that, champions? It's one of the fans and one of my lights starting to go. Another thing to fix. Fuck's sake. I fucking hate fix my own shit. I just heard something squeal like a pig and it was the bearing in the fan starting to go. I better power it off. G'day Rob, how you going? Hi everyone. Hi Dad. And we're caught up. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? First we're going to do something a bit fun. Extend my lens. Man, it's hard to get everything to not bump into everything else. Put that over there. You can go over there. Get you out of frame. Yeah, you're out of frame. Sorry, I should have sorted all this out prior. Just got my phone on charge as well because I forgot to put that on charge last night. Alright, that's better. Maybe a bit that way. Because you don't really want to look at the door jamb, do you? There we go. It's a bit better. Right, so what are we going to look at? Change my camera angle. Can I still do it? No. Alt 1. What happened to my presets? Oh yeah, Shift 1. Shift 2. Shift 1. Okay. So we've got a valve here that got smashed. Schmished. So it's just going to show you up close. Close-ish. As close as Panny Boy does anyway. The guts of a valve. A lot of people haven't seen the guts of a valve. So we've taken the plate off. It's got a bit of schmoo on it, but don't mind that. What desoldering vacuum do you use? Thanks, Mesa Barbecue. That's a cool name. I use the Pace MBT station. It's pretty old school. But yeah, there's so many other good ones. The Hakko desoldering stuff looks great. If you're after any of my gear recommendations or just the gear that I use, it's in the video description. So just scroll down to that. And I've got a detailed list there of everything that I use, including the photography and audio gear. So, you can see, let's lock the focus. Because it's trying to jump around on me. Alright, so you can see there, the inner grid, that's the control grid, is gold. I'm not sure what metal that is. But the outer, and then that's the screen grid there. The next one in, and the suppression grid on the outside. I wonder if I can get digital zoom happening again. That's just focus assist. But yeah, you can see the inner control grid, the outer, the middle, the screen grid, and then the outer's the suppressor grid. Now looking at how flimsy these wires are, and they're molybdenum, so a pretty hard metal. It's amazing these things work at all. So you can see how like maybe consistency is difficult to get because you got such a large thing and everything's got to be precision spaced but also cheap. So on the inner you got a tube basically. I'm not sure what metal that is. I'd say it's probably just, I don't know, it's got to be some high temperature stuff. It looks to me like just plain stainless, some grade of stainless. Then that's coated with some white shmoo. I'm not sure what the white shmoo is. I must look into that. That's the coating that helps basically emit electrons. They fly out through the grids. The grids try and stop them from doing so. Well, the inner grid does anyway, because it's got a negative voltage on it, and electrons are negatively charged. So if they have a negative field, they'll be repelled from it. But some will make it through, and they'll make it through modulated by the signal on that grid. Then they'll be sped up by the screen grid and fly through the suppressor grid and hit the plate, which is on the outside. And then the plate's what your high voltage is on, as well as the screen grid in your traditional circuit. They hit the anode, and then that's your output. So it sounds pretty simple when you just dumb it down like that. The suppressor grid's there to stop the electrons when they hit. They can knock an electron back off, and it can find its way back in and cause some funny effects. So the suppressor grid is there to stop the electrons from trying to go back home, you know. Don't you want to go home? No, not if you're an electron. You want to go to the anode, and then you want to go through the output transformer, and then induce a current in the secondary, and then make your speaker move, and then make panties drop. Or briefs, whatever you're into. Yeah, that's one of the valves that got smashed recently by a customer. He had that Laney Pro tube, which was gutted and rebuilt, and he was loading it into the van. It came in without a cover, and I said, look, do you want a cover on the back? Like, do you want me to make one? It's going to cost a bit, but I can make you a stainless mesh, or even an alley mesh one. He's like, that should be right. Usually just use it in the studio, but he loved the sound of it so much he took it for a few gigs, and they were loading it into the van, and it shifted, and the amp underneath it shifted, and the amp almost fell off the stack of gear. So he reached to grab it, but in the process of reaching to grab it, you know, your reflexes, often you try to catch your phone and you just end up throwing it at the ground harder. So he went to catch the amp, and he ended up like punching the valves. So he cut his hand and everything. So he brought it back for a new set of valves. There's nothing else wrong with it. Just needed a new set, and just check the bias, and I'm going to get a rear cover fabricated for it this time. So yeah. I've had to take a punt on the old CE manufacturing again. Normally I'll find a way to, let's get back to autofocus. Normally I'll find a way to AFC, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Normally I'll find a way to mount radials, or preferably radials, or worst case axials inside the amp, and just disconnect these. A lot of techs will parallel new caps across the existing terminals just because it's such a convenient place to put a cap. You could just like put radials directly onto these tabs or whatever. But you don't want the old capacitor to be in circuit still, because it'll continue to overheat and spill its guts. It could go short circuit. It could have coupling between the different capacitor stages causing oscillation, that kind of thing. So you just want to remove it from circuit entirely, but it's going in a WEM copycat, WEM, and there's just no room to mount anything. So I had to take a punt on one of these things, as much as I don't like to. At least this one's 85C. Some of them are 65C, which is pathetic. But a lot of these just turn up dead, or some of the segments open circuit. Let's just have a quick passive test anyway, just with the multimeter voltage, but we'll see how she performs once we've got it in circuits, because that's an all valve tape echo. Echo. 21, 21, 21. Okay. Well, fingers crossed that works at high voltages. Time will tell. I'll have to do a video on that one. Hey, Mom. The guys on Tone Talk were singing the praises of early Laney designs. Yeah, I watched that episode, and I agree with them. The GH100 and GH50L, sometimes you find them for like $200 or $300, and they're basically like a 2203. You can buy them for nothing, and you can turn them into really good amps. Oh, before we move on from that other valve, one thing that was interesting to me, the smashed valve, was you see the getter ring, and you assume, ask you me, that it's just a ring of metal plated with something that they overheat. But looking closely, it's a little channel. See that? And it's filled with what looks like, under the loop, looks like, you know, a burnt sparkler. Let's see if I can get some focusy action here. The camera's getting very confused. Yeah, see that? It's filled with like what looks like a burnt match head, and it's a tiny little channel pointed upwards. So they heat that with an exterior coil, like an induction coil, and they once they've evacuated the valve, and then it evaporates. I think it's a barium or something, a metal. I can't remember. Gooden or someone, or Satchmody Assess will fill me in on the details, because there are, you know, all across it. But yeah, that's a tiny little circular channel, pressed channel, and it's got that, I guess, powder in it. And then when it gets red hot, it evaporates the metal, and that's what forms the shiny bit on the inside of the valve. But yeah, I always just assumed it was a ring that was plated with the metal, and then the induction makes the metal evaporate. But it looks like it's some kind of, see the getter ring in there? Some kind of powder compound in there. Yeah, very interesting. Take a good hard look at yourself. That's the other one there. Nothing wrong with it, still tests alright. Save that for a SL5 or something. It's only in service for about 2 days. Gotta run. Wish a great weekend. Well, take it easy, Ted. Have a good one, mate. Not everyone can stay here for the whole stream. We're not all nerdy losers. There's a Loney GH100L with a 4x10 cabinet for less than 1800 on Reverb. That's pretty up there for American dollars there, whereas you can usually find them for probably literally like 300 US, if that. Yeah, it depends how good the cab is. Tube grids, screens, suppressor grids are made of metal such as molybdenum that are poor emitters of electrons. Then coated with carbon or gold to further damp electron emissions from the frids, I think mean grids. Yeah, because their job's not to emit or absorb electrons, but just influence the field. But you saw on that one, it looked like the inner was still gold, but it could be some molybdenum compound, some alloy. But yeah, I was, as far as I knew, the reason they chose molybdenum is because of its strength properties. You know, its modulus of elasticity or ductility, I should say, or lack thereof, and temperature resistance. It's a very firm metal, like as thin as they are, pressing on them, it feels like they've got a lot of resistance for how wispy they are. Wispy. How wispy they are. Alright, champions, let's do it. Let's just bloody get this show on the road, eh? So someone asked to finish the refret on stream today. I'm sort of 90% of the way there. So we're at the polishing stage. So I don't really want to get the Dremel out and deafen you all, because the subscribers will go, not subscribers, the viewers will go down. I wish. Not that kind of channel. Check out my OnlyFans. So you can see there the ends are all dressed and polished. Well, sanded to 1200 grade. So the next step is to put a felt wheel on the Dremel and polish them to a mirror shine before removing the masking, and then I'll putty. You just see down in there the little fret tang hole. Putty them, touch them up, and get it back on the bloody strap, mate. So JJ's guitar pickups just sent me tracking. He said he wouldn't send it till Monday, Tuesday, but he's already sent the bloody new pickups for it. So that will turn up when I open again on Tuesday. We can get that guitar back to its owner, which is fan-bloody-tastic. So what are we doing today? We'll make old man noises as I pick up an amp. It always makes me laugh when the promotional material's still on the lid. Like this thing's had an easy life. But it still failed because it's a Fender. So reports of... What was the reports of? Was it no signal? Let me get my paperwork. Let me get my poop in a group. Let me get my shit together, in other words. There goes that siren again. Someone just cannot enter their PIN code in the alarm correctly. It goes off every morning. Possible failed output stage, evidence of overheated failed 6L. Okay, so this was one of those cases where you try to ask the person what the symptom was, and they just say, oh, it's overheated. Yeah, but what? How did you know? Oh. Okay, there's a plug from... That's a clue! There's a plug from the preamp out to the power amp in. Like a guitar lead. So maybe we've got a failed jack, which is pretty common on these because the PCBs are shit. And we've got the speaker unplugged, so that's not a good sign. And we've got two very tasty looking 6L6s, which is also not a good sign because normally these are biased pretty cold from the factory anyway. So the usual stuff, everything on Fenders, it's, they say history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. History repeats all the fucking time. Every Fender's got the same old shit. Off the top of my head, you know, failed caps, cracked PCB joints, failed or overheated low voltage supply, failed speaker jack, these always fail. The shitty plastic things, failed series capacitor balancing resistors, otherwise known as bleeders. They either go open circuit or very high. Failed plate load resistors. They either go very, very high or open circuit or noisy. And just not great voicing on overdrive channels. So you often reduce the bypassing on the earlier stages, and that cleans up the overdrive and makes it actually usable. So that's the standard stuff on Fenders, like every one of them. And people ask why. Oh, you just shit on amps. Well, if they stop being shit, maybe I'd stop shitting on them. And I don't shit on every amp, just on the shit ones. So, following your amp repair saga. Who are we talking about? Getters are usually magnesium or barium high. Yeah, I thought it was barium. Yeah, a high intensity RF microwave beam is used to inductively heat. Microwave beam is used to inductively heat scattered the Getter material onto the glass. Yeah. What's the angle on those thread ends? I don't know. Let me get the calipers out. The protractor. Whatever works, Scotty. It depends on the geometry of the edge of the neck. Like if your neck's curved, got like a big curve in it, and then your fret stands up, it doesn't look right. So sometimes you've got to follow that curve a bit, even if it does take a bit out. I don't have one of those set angle ones because they seem to be only good for like really new necks that don't have any wear, or you know, ones that have a real square edge. So I just do it by eye, basically. Generally, it's somewhere in the 20 to 30 degree mark if you're going off the measurement, you know, of the arc between the two ends of the frets as you're playing. I kept that paper cover for my deluxe reverb reissue. It actually gained me some dollars when I traded it in for a real deluxe reverb. Good work. Some people like that stuff. I don't know why, for the life of me. when I buy something, I rip off everything, all the tags, stickers, you name it, anything that makes it identifiable, anything that makes it look like, you know, a showroom thing, I rip it off. Like the plastic on the pick guards that bakes itself on if you leave it there for 6 months. I feel bad for Frank, that amp is oh no, is Frankie having issues? What's going on with Frankie? I haven't had enough time to watch his videos recently, but I'll try and check that out. Which videos, Frankie, having problems with? Strontium or zirconium indicators. My ring's made from zirconium. Hard as a coffin nail, that shit. Most manufacturers had a secret source for getter material. That's weird because the getter doesn't affect the performance of the valve at all. Like, it's just there to soak up the last of the gas. Hey man, how you going, legend? Having a wee single malt. Why did I go like Welsh? Anyway. It's still got the tag. Oh wow. Still got the sales tag. $2,899. Holy fuck, I've got to charge more for my amps. Whoa. And that's like before inflation too. That'd be like a $3,400 amp now. Holy shit. Fucking, I had no idea these things were worth that much, because they're not worth that much, if you know what I'm saying. Alrighty. Well, that's annoying. We've got a... Oh no, it's already unplugged. Yeah, never mind, I'm just bitching. Is the reverb unpluggable? Yes it is. Alright, our chassis is free. Let's get this arsehole out and see what's going on. I don't want to power it up when the valves look like that. I can give them a quick test though, just to see on the tester if they're fucked. They might be fine, but I'm still not trusting them when they look like that. Drill. Got the number 1 Phillips on there. Just remove the screws on the underside of the chassis. Little pan head wood screws. I've been feeling like I'm getting sick for the last 3 or 4 days, but just nothing ever comes of it. I think it's just the change in seasons and the pollen. I don't normally get affected by that. I normally get affected by pet fur and stuff, but not pollen. And it's trying to grab the friggin' foil like it does every time. I hate that shit. Just chuck a ruler in there and try and flatten the foil a bit. It's a bachelor weekend this weekend, champions. Michelle's going out of town for a wedding I wasn't invited to. I must not be cool enough. So, garage time. Got a few projects on the go. I'm restoring an old Singer. Oh yeah. I'm restoring an old Singer sewing stand. Cast iron thing from like the fucking 40s or 50s. And it's got some cast iron cracks, so I've got some cast iron stick welding rods and a little die grinder, which is a cute thing. Fucking powerful for the size of it. Yeah, I've got the Dremel here, but the Dremel's like a little toy. You try and do any serious work with it, and it's just... So I got a proper die grinder. And I'm going to weld up those cracks, coat the thing matte black, and then reapply the gold paint across the logo, Singer. And then I'm going to make a hardwood top for it, and that's going to be the work desk in our spare room. in our guest room, because we often have people that come and stay for a couple of days, and they might have their laptop and have to do a bit of work, so they could set their laptop up there and tap into the printer or whatnot, like a little Airbnb, you know, but for free. So that would be a good little project just to de-stress a bit, not think about work for 5 minutes. But thinking about work, I've got some paint touch-up jobs to do, and it looks like the weather's going to be favourable this weekend, so we'll be able to get them out and buffed up, ready for the customer on Tuesday. I got to finish the cabinet for the Dirty Shirley, Cranky Karen. Ooh, copyright infringement. I've just cut the front and back plate. I just got a Tolex them and put a grill on the rear plate, and put a little leather logo on the front. And she's good to install that effects loop. Oh, hiccup coming. Install that effects loop, and might take it home. Although it is good to have here. I need an amp at home to just force me to sit down and play. I've got the modeler and stuff, but it doesn't make you want to sit down and play it, you know? It's there. I know it can do everything, but I don't know what to say. The heart wants what the heart wants, champions. And that's why a lot of people don't use modelers. And this is where Six comes in and says, Dr. Gear says, "You're an idiot. Modelers are the way. You stupid grandpa Luddite with your old tube amps." Don't know, mate. The heart wants what the heart wants. Sorry. The getters are supposed to be neutral to the operation of the tube, but if any of the getter material gets splattered onto the mica or metal parts, it conducts and emits electrons caused by this runaway. I wonder, Gooden, if that's what happened with the PS Vane, the TAD branded PS Vane valves, because that was exactly the symptom of that. Maybe they didn't have their getter shit correct. I wonder if it's that simple. Fuck, we should tear one down. I've still got them here, the failed ones. I might bring the glass cutter in and see if we can carefully remove one of the tubes from the base and see what happened. Not going to fucking tell them, because they're not going to do shit. Allergies can change. When I first moved to SoCal, my allergies completely disappeared. 19 years later, they're back with a vengeance. Yeah, I used to get crippling allergies, which started right when you didn't want to be awkward at all. So high school, walking around with a fucking tissue all the time with my nose dripping. And then come like senior high, it just went away. Maybe like a puberty thing or something. I don't know. It just went away. Didn't have it for years. And then it started coming back, and then now it's gone away again. My brother used to take the piss out of me. "Oh, why are you always sick? Why are you always sniffling?" And now he's got it. So sucked in, Jace. Poetic justice. Martin Reed, I come from a musical family. Even the sewing machine is a singer. G'day, Joe. Hope you're doing fantastic too, mate. It's the positivity channel. Drink water. Moisturise. Be good to your mother. Or someone else's mother. A fun fact. RCA developed the 6L6 and were able to upgrade it to 30 watts by laminating layers of metal together to form the plates, fusing the layers with high explosives. Really? They loved using high explosives for all sorts of shit, eh? Okay, so that was back in the day. I'm assuming they've figured out better ways to do it since then. Because that plate doesn't look like anything amazing. I don't know what the plating on it is. It just looks like annealed, what do you call it? Zinc aluminum? Or zinc anneal? I always get the two mixed up. But yeah, I'm not sure what metal it is. It just feels like a spring steel. Being a vacuum repairman really sucks. Well, Six mustn't be here because he was a vacuum salesman. He loves sucking in more ways than one. Love you, Six. Modelers can do anything, but they don't do it for me. Exactly, Sean. Sometimes the heart wants what the heart wants, and the heart will get that at great cost. Anyway, what are we doing? You could easily charge 3K for an amp, and I have, Wes, and I continue to. So, 2 Cook 6L6s. Have a go at them. Have a go at you, lad. Have a go at ya. So they might, as I said, there's no like metallization. Maybe they've just been overbiased for a long time. So they might be fine. Let me just pop them in the tester and confirm / deny that. Just spread the cheeks. Out she comes. Wake up, tester. Maybe I'll call it Jeff. Wake up, Jeff. I've got to make some adapters for EL84s in this thing. That's what on my to-do list. Warming up. Yeah, we've got 2 heaters operating. Plate on. Ramp her up. Got -40 on the grid, control grid. Alright, starting to conduct. Still coming up to temp. 366 on the plates. And they've both leveled out to a pretty close match. 9.6, 9.7. So let's keep going up the voltage. No arcs yet. Very close match. Alright, we've got 31, well, 30.8 milliamps on one side and 28.9 on the other. Take it up to 40 milliamps. Drop it back down, bring it up to max max voltage. Just to check for any arcs. 460 volts on the plate, 455 on the grids. 19 and 80 milliamps. So they're actually very well matched. At least for static dissipation anyway. Yep, high explosives. Note that modern high voltage transmission line splicing is sometimes done with explosives. Yeah, my mate showed me a video of that. He's a linesman. Not Wichita though. When work is going on at a local substation, I can hear it from a mile or 2 away. Yeah, I reckon you would. Parts will become obsolete on the modelers, so you have to buy the latest and greatest. Yeah, that already happens, Joe. I've actually been pretty surprised how long some of them have been in production for. Like they don't turn over the models super quick, like the Line 6 Helix and stuff. So that's kind of promising that they're not making a new one every 6 months. Like the fucking phone manufacturers. Fuck the phone manufacturers. I'm going to get a Linux phone, man. I'm sick of Android. I'm sick of Windows. Telling me what I can and can't install and putting spyware and adware and shit on it. Starting to get... Like Windows Professional used to be the one that was free from ads. If you had Windows Home, you got smashed up the arsehole by ads despite having already paid for the operating system. Because Microsoft are just a bunch of fucking money-hungry cunts. I find it so funny when people are like, oh, this person's already a billionaire. They're not going to go looking for more money. Yeah, because famously billionaires go, oh, I've got this much money. I'll just stop now. Like, you've got to be so fucking brain dead to think that someone's rich, so they're not... Money's not an issue for them, so they're not going to try and bleed us dry. They are the fucking ones that want to bleed you dry the hardest, because it's a compulsion. It's a fucking obsession. It's hoarding. And Microsoft's one of them. So Linux, open source, you can install or uninstall whatever you want, and everyone else can get fucked, basically. All the preamp valves getters are intact. I'd have to look up a map on the side of the cabinet to know which ones are supposed to be where. I suppose we better check that. Let me just take a photo with my phone. Tube chart. Alright. So looking at El Tubo Charto. Of course the stupid phone fucking thinks it's the other orientation like it always does. Piece of shit. Edit. Rotate. Why is the editing app so shit too? Save. Alright. So, looking at our little map. Little mappy map. Turn it around so we know what we're looking at. What? Oh, it's looking... Why would you have it looking from the top? Oh, fucking... Anyway. 12AT7, yes it is. 12AX7, yes it is. 12AX7, yes it is. Alright. 12AX7. 12AT7. 12AX7. 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 So two 12AT7s, probably the phase inverter and the reverb driver. Definitely. Definitely. I had a Kirby forever. Way better than any Sebo. Kirby, that's what Dad bought. Kirby vacuum. Made in the USA. Costs $1 million and weighs 1 million tons. Made from like fucking cast aluminium. Like it's the 50s. Pardon me. He loves it. You got a plan for that tester, by the way. I'd pay for that. Thing is awesome. TK, how you going, legend? I'm going to give you a shout out on the channel. I meant to do it last night and I forgot. Go check out TK's channel. He's a fellow Aussie. Are you in South Australia, mate? I think we've discussed this, but my memory is fucking terrible. I barely remember my own name half the time. Or the missus. But, you know, it's exciting. Feels like an affair every time I see her. Yeah, go check out TK's channel. He's asking for advice as to what you want to see, champions. So he already said, you know, there's a lot of different channels that have a lot of different niche. You know, like you come here for the comedy more than anything, eh? And the rants. Whereas, you know, you go to Lyle for nuanced fuck. Nuanced opinions on guitar hardware and devices, as well as his beautiful videography. You go to 6 for well, his vast knowledge of synthesizer repairs, that kind of thing. You go to Frankie for a bit of comedic relief as well. So what do you think, TK? I just told him he's just got to do whatever feels natural, you know? Like, you can't force shit in this unless you're one of those fakey McFake fakes, you know, with the 6 ads in a video, that kind of thing. They don't believe in anything or care. But if you're going to do it off the cuff, I think you just got to focus on whatever gets you excited. He's got the Aussie accent. He doesn't swear as much as me, though, which I'm very disappointed about. Yeah, the problem with the tube tester, champions, is it hasn't been naked. Yeah, that'd help. Yeah, naked amp repair. Huh. I don't think anyone wants to see me naked. I've got to lose a few pounds first anyway. I've got the bear thing going on, I guess. But some are into that. The thing with that valve tester is it's easy to damage it if you use it wrong. And part of the reason I wouldn't want to put anything like that into production is because as soon as you start putting safety measures and stuff in there, auto recovery fuses and whatever, the complexity goes through the roof, and therefore more things to fail. At the moment, it's a pretty Spartan design, but if you use it wrong, you could damage it. Plus, there's liability stuff there too. If you use it wrong, you could kill yourself. But it's the same with anything. You use a fucking kettle wrong, you can kill yourself. You fucking toaster wrong, you can kill yourself. My channel sucks. I usually get so involved in repairs that I forget to film. Yeah, that's why I started doing the live streams, because you just forget to remind yourself to film stuff. So if you just got the camera going in the background, like fly on the wall type deal, those videos don't do particularly well. But you know what? I'm over giving a shit if a video does well or not. I make it because I feel like making it. I don't care if no one watches it. I'm still going to make the video because I feel excited to make it, and that's what it's all about, champions. And if there's 3 people that watch it and feel the same, it's worthwhile. Also hate editing. Yeah, who doesn't, Scotty? Sometimes I enjoy it if I'm excited about a project, a particular amp, something like that. Or if I've gone all out with the camera angles and lighting and stuff. Because it's a beautiful thing to look at while you're editing it. I try to make the videos look as nice as I can, partially for me, because I want to enjoy editing them. If you've got a shitty phone footage, it's just not fun to edit because it's all grainy crap. TK, one thing I'd suggest, get rid of the just the straight up phone mic. Get yourself, not this one, but the Rode Lav GO, is it? Smart Lav. So it's got a USB-C connector on it. And you plug it straight into your phone. If you are going to film with your phone, and that's fine, at least have like really good audio. So try that, and also try using a third-party camera app, one that has more video options than the stock app, and often they're free. And with very minimum input, I think the Smart Lav's like $75 or something. You need a headset too. You can put it on your thingy, on your clothes, but I find it sounds muffled down there, and you get clothes rustling noises too. So for the extra, I don't know, $70 or something, get the little headset. They do come in different sizes, so be aware of that. But you could up your audio game dramatically for about $75, or about $120 if you include the headset. G'day Andy, how you going, legend? Mice sometimes nest in little used vacuums and die in there. It's a tough smell to get rid of. You've always got to take it there, don't you, Gooden? No one asked about mice dying in vacuums. Rancid food smell. He's just going on a rant, ain't you, Gooden? Talking about ways for your vacuum to suck and not suck. I wouldn't know how to edit a video that was taken on my phone. Any videos I post are live, unrehearsed, goofs and all. That's the way to do it. That's the way I started doing it. You just dump your files on the computer, and then you start a project, and you dump them all in the project, and then I go sort by date, because then it sorts them in the order that I took them in, and then I drag and drop them all onto the timeline, and they all go butt end to end to each other, and then you just go through and grab a beer or a coffee and sit there and play it back to yourself and edit out all the silence and all the bullshit and the fucking sneezes and hiccups and stuff where you said something dumb, which is like 50% of it. I saw another YouTuber that was like actively attacking other YouTubers for editing. It's like, he's so pure of heart that like, if you edit videos, then you're a hack. You're a liar, because you're not showing the like warts and all stream of consciousness that no one wants to watch. It's like, oh, you act so smart because you edited out all the dumb bits. It's like, fucking course I did. I'll sit there and stare at shit and drool on the amp. No one wants to watch that. Mice also love motorcycles. Yeah, they love eating fucking plastic, man. Rats. What goodness do they get out of plastic? It must be the plasticizer or something. Tastes or smells like it might be food. Like, they eat wiring insulation, like PVC. What the fuck good is that for them? It's got to be bad. Hi, Brad. Is there a high gain amp brand model that you would recommend? Think American high gain, like Boogie EVH alternative. Yeah, probably go an Engel. they've got their weak spots in construction, but I like the Engel sound. Some of the Rivera knuckleheads a pretty good one. They're getting to the age now where they need a recap. They use high quality caps, but they're like 30 years old now, and it gets pretty warm with that amp. Look, EVH, they're okay, even though they're made by Fender. Are you on live chat, Brad? Yeah. Oh, hang on, no, it's gone back because I went to the camera app and back again. That's what got me last time, Scotty. When I took the photo of the valve chart and I went back to the thing, it always defaults back to top chat. I got live chat on the computer here, but I don't want to lean over and have you look at my head while I'm reading it. So I've got my phone up here, so it looks like I'm looking at the camera while I'm reading. So, did I miss a comment there, Scotty? Have sex if you are Florida man. What? Or have sex with if you are Florida man. What are you talking about? Believe me, mice are a mechanic's cash cow, yeah. I've read that some wiring auto harnesses are made using a biodegradable coating that attracts rodents. I wonder if it's like a lubricant. Where's like they use like olive oil or something to push the wire through into the jacket or something like that. Wife found a Kirby at a yard sale for $70. Jesus, she was giddy for days. That's like when we find like in Princeton or something for like $200. Ah, it's just an old amp. Okay, I'll take it. Florida man had sex with a vacuum he stole from the neighbor. I love the Florida news. These are all a mess. Even the Florida news even makes it to Australia, and we all laugh at yous for being fucking crackheads. I heard someone's been smuggling crocodiles into the US recently, or into the US. Thinking they were alligators, apparently. Let's do a little bit of music news before we do serious stuff. I should have queued up the article beforehand, shouldn't I? Okay. Was that fake news? I heard the other day on 2SER that Sydney has overtaken, finally, Melbourne for the amount of live performances, gigs, tickets sold. But looking online, I can't find any confirmation of that. So yeah, maybe it's bullshit. Oh well, forget that. I heard it on the radio, so I was going to look up the article and show you. Reportedly, Sydney has overtaken Melbourne. Pretty much always Melbourne, or maybe since the 80s, Melbourne's been like the premier live music city. Partially because they've outlawed poker machines in the CBD, or the inner city, surrounding suburbs. So you got to go out to the sticks to play a shitty poker machine, which just destroy the entertainment precincts, because people just sit there drooling, pressing a button, watching all their cash disappear instead of watching a band and supporting a local community. But reportedly, Sydney's put on more gigs than Melbourne in 2024. Now, that's going off tickets sold, so I wonder, because wasn't that when Swiftie came out here? She was probably brought that average up quite a bit. Not sure. Yeah, I just went looking for the article and it's like it doesn't exist, so maybe they're just talking out their ass. Melbourne has the most live music venues per capita in the world, apparently. Well, fucking hell, really. I love going to Melbourne, man. I love going to Melbourne with no plan. You just go to the hotel, check in, walk out, have a beer, just fucking walk around the streets, look at the signs, figure out who's playing where, don't even get your phone out. Just follow your nose in Melbourne. I love it. My wife has her friends visiting from Australia. She told me, don't worry, stay in the house. What? Don't worry, stay in the house? Why? What, because it's cold there? I've tried everything to deter mice. Cloves, pepper, Irish spring soap, dryer sheets, fresh cab. The only thing that work, peppermint oil and mothballs, which you don't want to breathe in a car air. Ugh, imagine your car full of mothballs. You're walking down the street, everyone's avoiding you. Best vacuum I found is Shark. Like any other piece of equipment, look after it and service it. Shark has been the best. Does anyone know what is going on with G&L BBE sound? I don't know. What are they going under or something? I've just got a Melee something or other down here. Melee S5 power. That was our main vacuum at home. Now Shell's got one of the stupid Dyson things, plastic fucking toy. Works alright though, so I won't bitch too hard. But one time at band camp, one time she took the bag out of it, and forgot to put a bag back in, and fucking closed her up and started vacuuming and wondering why it sounded like it was squealing. So the entire vacuum had to come apart and clean everything, re-lubricate the bearings, fucking, oh my god. There's about 500 parts in that thing. I've got a photo somewhere of all the parts laid out on the garage floor when I was cleaning them. I had to put it all back together again. But yeah, she's worked like a hot damn since then. That was like 5 years ago or something, 3 years ago. Sergeant Grinch, how you going, legend? Grinchy boy, what's up? Florida crocodiles are nothing like Australian salty crocs, yeah. Salties will eat an entire fucking deer and not even blink an eye. They'll swallow the fucker whole. They are massive. They're like dinosaurs, dude. Alligators you could have as a pet. These things respect nothing. They eat each other. They're fucked. That's why the further north you go, you just don't go in any body of water unless you've got solid confirmation that there's no fucking crocodiles around. And even then, you're still sort of keeping an eye out. You got a spotter and whatnot. But they live down, like they can sit down the bottom of the river for like hours and wait for you. Like they don't have to come up for air. They're fucked. They're like aliens, man. They're fucking just waiting to mess you up. Brad, you're better finally. What was going on with you, Sergeant Grinch? You feeling good? You had something wrong? Oh, your message retracted. Maybe he doesn't want us to talk about it. But hope you're doing well. Central Virginia. I guess my wife doesn't like my long hair. Have you got long hair, Victor? Don't ask me where in Australia. I don't know. I haven't met them. Why not? Aren't they there? Oh, they're not there yet. But why are you telling them not to leave the house, Victor? Why wouldn't you leave the house? Oh, chat went away. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Just like that, the stream's over. Where's chat gone? Fucking piece of shit app. Oh. Fucking gadgets and crap everywhere. I need to simplify my life, champions. I had the infection return last week. I'm feeling much better. Thanks for asking. Oh, it's good to hear that. My niece are up North Virginia. Colpipo. I missed what model amp is this. This is a... Why is my app being an idiot? This is a Fender Supersonic. Sorry, I'm sitting here talking to chat. I should be working. Alright, so what are we going to find? We're going to find leaky IC caps, check. We're going to find overheated low voltage supply, check. You see down there, the discoloured board. And the fucking hot parts hugging a cap, which doesn't like heat. But we've got a 3-plated board, champions, so we'll probably be able to recover that area, but I want to lift those resistors well off the board. The diodes are already off the board somewhat, so that's good. And it's difficult because you can see the orientation of the capacitors. You have one lead there and one lead there, so you can't lay them over this way and get away from the heat. You could, but your leads will be a bit sideways and skew if. But we could put some upgraded caps in there, maybe some 125 degree rated. It'll put up with it. But you can see the typical shmoo leakage. Where are we? I'm trying to find my... There we go. You can see the crusty crap coming out the end of the cap. Same old story. Fender doing Fender stuff. Most of them have got the crusty shit escaping. So nice bueno in that respect. Now screen grid resistors look okay. I'm not sure what's going on with the preamp out, power amp in. Solder connections look okay. So maybe the jacks need replacing because the shunting contacts might have failed or be intermittent. Has this got series caps? Yes, it does. So we'll check those resistors. They look like different value resistors to usual. Different rating resistors. They look different to the usual shitty ones that fail, so they might be right, but I like to upgrade them anyway to 1 watt metal film. Resist orb mode. Meter's going to go a bit funky for a minute, but we can... 0.7 meg. Okay, so that's open. And that one is good. So one of those resistors is open, so one of those caps will be receiving more voltage than it should. So we'll replace them. So yeah, pretty much everything we imagined. Let's gingerly fire it up, because I am a ginger. I mean, the owner just cranked it until it wouldn't crank no more, so I don't think we're going to fuck it any harder than it already is. There's a modification there on the board up the front. Someone's cut a trace and chucked a diode between them. Not sure what that's about. That's probably something to do with the foot switching. You know, the channel switching circuitry. Oop, someone's doing burnouts. Fast blow 1.6 looks intact. And is. Silly filament fuse. At least they've used a properly rated heater fuse holder on this one. Cost them $2 extra or something. See that? That's actually probably rated to take this current. And the fact that it takes 2 size fuses, so you can use the 2 outer contacts to use a 30mm fuse or whatever they are. What are they? 3 AG? I forget the codes. Yeah, 3 AG. There is no 2 AG. It's just 3 AG. That's the bigger one. They probably work as a bit of a heat sink too, if there is any resistance there with the high current. But yeah, it's usually more of an issue on 100 watt or 80 watt, you know, amps with 4 output valves. This has only got 2. So looking down here, our valves are hiding under that ribbon cable. Great lead dress, I know. Let's put a low level ribbon cable right above your output valves, but I guess they tested it and it didn't give them any issues, so they progressed with it. Screen grid resistors down here look okay. Just check them. Metal oxide, they look like probably 2 watt. 465. I found 468. I found metal oxide and some metal film tend to drift downwards in resistance as they get over dissipated, which of course it exacerbates the problem. Alright, so we're probably okay to fire it up relatively safely and give you a bit of signal. One thing that keeps happening, I grab my soldering iron and the cable, because I've got my M2 Mo2 right under the soldering station, the cable gets caught between the mic jack, the mic plug, sorry, and the gain control, because they're right next to each other, and when I pull a cable it turns the gain all the way up. So I should recess that under the bench surface a bit. I wonder if I can do that now. Yeah, there we go. Because you'd be playing away and then you wonder why everything's clipping. It's because you've grabbed the soldering iron and it's turned the gain all the way up in the process. Fun. Now that Daddy took the T-Bird away. Powered off. So first thing we'll check is if there's an issue with the... I'll put the old valves back in first. If there's an issue with the preamp output, power amp input jacks. Gas cow! There you go, mate. Just got in from pizza and wine. Fuck yeah. Better go for that walk in the morning, champion. Wear that shit off. Base is a bit dirty. I'll just give it a bit of a brush. Chicken curry pot pie turned out great. I have photos. Fuck yeah, Wes. On a 6-day trekking holiday from Lucca to Siena. Arrived this evening. Nice. Lucca to Siena. What? Are you in Italy? Ian's going to go backpacking in Yosemite for 6 days. Didn't someone in the news pronounce it Yosemites the other day? Fucking, it was an American too. I forget who it was. Yosemites. Yosemites. Thought it was like a religious thing. Semites. Ah, cooked. Alright, let's get me blocks out. Chuck her up on blocks. Just like a good Holden. Time's flying today, champions. It's almost bloody... It's 8:15. Oh, that's right, I only open at 10. I'm thinking I'm opening at 9. It was your president. Oh, well, that explains it. Old sponge brain. Fuck. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, assuming it wasn't him. But nope, it was him. Alright, meter. We have a bit of a Fluke flex. Just take my watch off for a minute because I keep bashing it on the chassis. And time's not important right now, champions, because we're closed. Both the eyelets are full, so I might just suck the solder out of one of them. Didn't. Oh, my camera cut out again there. Doesn't like inrush current from appliances. We walked through the old city after eating. Very picturesque. Lovely old architecture. That's awesome, man. I'm starting to get that urge to go travelling again, eh? Shell and I were looking at Scottish stuff. Well, she talked about it to me as I fell asleep on the couch last night, anyway. Yeah, I'd like to go to Scotland and Ireland. But then we're talking about Canada too, so this is next year. I'd love to just pop back over to Japan for another week or two as well. I know we've been there and done that, but just as like a, I don't know, just a quick break. I'd like to normalise just going for like a week instead of having to have a big long getaway. Just pop over somewhere not too far away for like a week, like New Zealand or like Thailand or somewhere. I don't really want to do the Bali thing, but maybe Bali. It depends where you go. I think if we did Bali, I'd probably want to go with one of our friends that goes there so they know all the good spots and not the dumb touristy shit. We actually landed in UK on Tuesday, flew to Italy on Friday. I'd love to go to Italy too, because I've got some mates over there. Yeah, pretty much got mates every country that we could catch up with and show us all the good spots. Who's driving around with a loud exhaust? Oh, it's his rally car. That sounds different. Sounds like he's got a 4-cylinder in there now. He used to have a V8 with a bloody turbocharger, unless it's a different car. A supercharger. There's a guy over the back with the engineering shop. He's got like... He's one of these blokes that earns enough money he can have a hobby. So he, unlike me, I just turn all my hobbies into a fucking business and then ruin them. Just check we've got no stray voltages there, considering one of the bleeder caps is open. 0.3 of a volt. That's with standby on. Where are we? Oh. And that's dropping now to 0.2. That's what's so cool about most of Europe. They keep the old architecture. Yeah, they don't turn them into fucking Starbucks and Walmarts and shit. We've started doing that, but of course all the fucking capitalists hate it because they just want to put a fucking bank on every corner. There's some of our pubs in Sydney. They've done up the pub to have, like, you know, modern stuff, but they kept the fascia at least of the building. Why is that not melting? Why for you have to be difficult? The temp's fucking plenty higher. What's going on? Oh, for fuck's sake. I think what happens with that braid is if you sit on it too long, like your mum, the flux up the braid evaporates, and even though it looks good still, it's useless. Why can't I just clear a fucking solder eyelet without difficulty? Hmm? Lead-free solder. Fucking thing's blocked now. Jesus. Just try to do one fucking thing. Get my backup filter. There's fuck all in it. Oh, it's probably from the contamination from that job we did recently with the shmoo all over the eyelets. I haven't done many electronics jobs recently, champions. I've been on the guitar bench for the last week. Yeah, I've never been to Bali yet. It's a bit of a cliche for Aussies to go to Bali, so I sort of reflexively didn't go because all my bogan mates went there. Nothing wrong with being a bogan. Just it got a bit cringe to go there for a while, and they were a bit not receptive of tourists, but that was mainly in the trash ball areas, you know, like Kuta and stuff. So these things, Pace sell a tip cleaning tool for like $120. Just get yourself one of those $20 spray gun cleaning kits, and they come with these. Same shit. Exact same shit, but it's about $5 worth. It's just hardened, or like, feels like stainless, with sort of like, almost like knurled roughness to it to clean the tips out. Save yourself some money, champions. Right, where were we? Measuring things. It's really weird to put the output stage up the preamp end too. I'm not a huge fan of that. What the fuck? Komodo dragon, a German tourist disappeared a few years ago and all they found was one shoe. The Komodo dragons ate them? Really? What are you on about, Sergeant Grinch? German tourist or North African German? What? The element on my desoldering gun broke yesterday afternoon. Hakko. Ah, bugger. They still sell replacements, really? Huh. I've got up here. I tried to buy something or other. The heating element for the Hakko 815. And the shop showed that it was in stock. And then I got a bit of a hat-in-hand phone call from the store I bought it from. They said, "Oh, look, sorry, we don't have that. Our stock levels were wrong." Sergeant Grinch, Germany is overrun by North Africans. Really, dude? Are you going to go there? So he said, but I can, for the same price, I can do you the whole handset. Because I ordered 2. And he said, I got 2 handsets. I can do them for the same price. It's like he was apologising. I'm like, okay. So he sent me 2 whole kits for the A15. It's brand new old stock. It's got, not only has it got the tube, it's got the tip, it's got the tool, it's got the anti-seize thing and a spare tube. So fucking score. So, just wait until the other one fully shits the bed. And not only that, but I've got another one. So I'm hoarding them. He was like apologetic. I'm like, no, it's good. It's good. Thank you. I'm just fingers crossed that it arrived before he figured it out. Does that work? Yeah, so I've got the 474 here. That's I bought it new about 10 years ago. So yeah, that's the handpiece that came with it. That's the original, but you see it gets really eroded from where you sit it in the stand. See that? Now that whole thing is one piece. That's the heating element, and you unscrew it there and then plug it into the handpiece. But not when you've got a whole new handpiece. So I might sell that as is now before it gets too bad, because some people that barely use it, that'll probably last them another lifetime, you know. And then just get one of the new ones into commission, because if young bloke starts soon, he'll need one. At the moment, that's like my backup one, and the Pace is a full-time one, but that'll go back to being a full-time one if new bloke starts, young bloke. I'll go into that one and use that one for monitoring the HT voltage. The other thing to check, remind me champions, is I'll check the voltage balance across the 2 caps, just to demonstrate how that can be affected by the resistor going open or high. Hoarders repair. Yeah, but it's not hoarding if it's a brand new item that's like a tool that you go through that you use. That's just stocking up. Because it's obsolete now, so I had to jump on it while I could, just like your mum. I've got to stop that, eh? It's starting to get a bit tired. Got a bail, I need to get off my fat ass and do something productive. Wanted to make a start on the deck, but it fucking rained last night. Take it easy, champs. Get out there, Pete. Get some sunshine and exercise if you can. It's good for all of us. New bloke. Yeah, so I think I talked about it last stream. Might have a young bloke starting soon to just help us out. He's like 16, 15, 16. Pretty keen, but we'll start him off on the easy stuff and maybe see if he wants to. He does seem keen about doing electronics, so we might get him into a TAFE course or something. Yeah, get him doing repairs, bro. Get him doing setups, because I can keep a close eye on him in this environment. It's good. I can be working away over here or vice versa, and the plan was to get him also building the boards, but you know, the Marshall replacement boards, because there is a bloke in the States who is, as I mentioned before, has been trash talking my professionalism and whatever, saying, oh, don't buy Brad's boards because he's not a professional, buy my boards. Never mind the fact that I can only produce about three of them every 6 months, whereas I've got like fucking 75 of them sitting there ready for shipping. But because of the tariff situation and the de minimis exemption cancellation and the just straight up shutting all shipping channels to the US, I couldn't ship one there for less than $600 if I wanted to. All the orders had just stopped. So we're not making them for a while. There goes an entire market for no reason whatsoever. So suck shit, Americans. Now you can't buy my boards, and now you got to throw your amps in the bin. So I've shut off all American orders to the website because we just can't ship anything there. All of the carriers have stopped shipping entirely. Now they're frantically creating a fucking agency to be able to collect the funds from us, the exporter, and then pay it in advance, so then the importer doesn't receive a bill for the import costs, which they are paying anyway. So we have to add that price with margin to the overall, goods cost in order to not go broke. And why the fuck should we have to pay it for you? So what they're doing is trying to conceal the fact that you are getting taxed by a regressive tax. And they're making us shoulder the burden of paying it on your behalf, so they can hide that fact that you're getting taxed away from you, and then you can just point at the vendor and go, "Oh, you're more expensive. Why are you more expensive? You're greedy," not knowing full well what the fucking problem is, or just pretending that they don't know. It's a big finger pointing exercise, and it's a big transfer of blame exercise, and at the end of the day, it's a big transfer of wealth exercise. And if you don't see that for what it is, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm just not interested in doing business at all with the States anymore. If that's the way they treat a supposed ally, they can get fucked. I'm not doing business with the US at all. Ever. Unless they get rid of that shit. I've got enough work over here. It was a good little market while it existed, but clearly you guys don't like us. So we're not doing business with you. Get fucked. Now, if you still think the importer's not paying the tariff in entirety with margin, you're a fucking idiot too. No tolerance for that ignorance anymore. Grow up. You're a fucking adult. Yeah, we got GST. GST is 10%. If you are American and you order my boards previously, up until like a month or two ago, you paid no GST. You paid no tax. You paid no import charges. 450 Australian dollars plus 45 Australian dollars is what it costs to get one of my boards into your hands within a week and a half. Now it's going to be over, I think I calculated $1,400 Australian to get one to you at the moment. 1,600 Australian, I think. So, like 3 times the price of a board. Yeah, so no one's going to buy them, obviously. And then after it's opened up the shipping channels again, which at the moment they're just completely closed, you're probably looking around double the cost of a board to get one in your hands. So, of course, no one's going to buy them because that's about what an amp's worth in some conditions over there. If you include the labour and the servicing as well. So you know, those amps over here go for about 1,800, $2,000 with the old board. If you put a 450 Australian dollar board in it, so 495 including GST, $500. You've got a solid, reliable amp that sounds better in my opinion than the original, due to the board layout being a bit more optimized, more stable, higher quality parts, and fresh parts. So fresh, it's like you've recapped the amp. So yeah, it's a viable thing over here. It's a viable thing in Europe. It's a viable thing in Canada, but it's not viable anymore in the US. So until that Seppo that keeps talking shit about me starts being competent enough to produce boards en masse, you're on your own. You got to throw the amps in the bin, or throw them into storage until. What I can't figure out is if I'm so unprofessional, and so bad at my job, like this fucking guy's on forums saying I am, how come I've got 75 boards in stock ready to ship, and I started shipping them in December last year, and this is in a country of what, 20 million people, and in a country of 330 million people, no one's developed a solution. You've got more than 10 times the people there, but no one's done it yet. So, don't know. Either I'm really stupid for doing it, which I don't think I was, because they were selling like hotcakes. I was selling 2 or 3 a week. Or something else is going on. So I'm not sure. His main gripe... Yeah, but hang on. His main gripe was the price. He didn't realise it was Australian... Oh, my fucking God. He didn't realise it was Australian dollars. You serious? Oh, yeah, I'm the unprofessional one. Fuck me. You guys have to get through your heads. There's different currencies in the world, okay? The .au at the end of the website means it's in Australia. The .it at the end means it's in fucking Italy. The .ca means it's in Canada, right? Oh, that's funny. And you know what? His boards are more expensive. Cause if... did I put a link up? Yeah. Oh my God. Firefox, what are you doing to me? So let's just share. I wish you could send them to me or Lyle. I've sent one to Lyle. He's got one in stock. But yeah, I should have sent like 20 of them over. Should have sent like 20 of them over and just fucking trusted them to let me know when they sold one. Desk share. All right. So here's his page. $3.94 plus shipping. And it's sold out, right? So yeah, let's round up $400 plus shipping. Okay, so mine are $450 plus shipping. But then in his description, the next batch will be $100 more. So his are going to be fucking more expensive than mine anyway in Australian dollars. He's saying mine are too expensive. His are going to be more expensive. So, fucking, I don't know. It's like trying to talk to a fucking brick wall. I don't know. Anyway, I hope he has fun trash talking me, and I hope he can pull his finger out of his asshole and produce enough boards to supply the market. I want him to succeed. I want his boards to supply the local market because I can't fucking sell them there. I want your amps to survive via whatever means necessary. He's still got the fuses on each heater, which I've got no idea why. That's fucking not required. But otherwise, it looks reasonably well laid out, and it looks like he's used high quality components. He's used those generic blue metal film things, which I'm not a fan of. And there's some positions in there where he's used a 1/4 watt, whereas all mine are 1/2 watt carbon film, and he's used metal film everywhere. That's a taste thing, but I prefer carbon film, particularly for the plate load resistors, particularly in the phase inverter. From a tonality point of view, the metal film can be a bit bitey. Yeah, I want him to produce good stuff. It'd be good if he stopped talking shit about me, and it'd be good if he could pull his finger out of his arsehole and produce enough to supply the local market. But aside from that, I've got no beef with him. Why can't people just get along? Well, it's an unregulated industry, TK, so a lot of people's ego is what drives them to do shit. So they have to defend their ego at all cost, and that just makes it a shitty fucking place to be from an objective point of view. 6, how you going, legend? I love Mexican food. Oh, yeah, I love Mexican food too. Who doesn't? Mexican, South American food, fuck, yeah, best shit ever. Chinese food, anything strong and fucking punches your teeth out. That's the food I like. I asked him what makes his boards better, and he's never answered. Oh, but yeah, but all FR4s aren't the same, 6. All FR4s aren't the same is his answer, and plus I'm not professional, so that's his other answer. He went about, yeah, not all FR4 is the same, and how he doesn't change things. He doesn't change things. Don't know what he means by that. It's sort of a smackdown response to this guy. Couldn't answer the question. Yeah, they go quiet, don't they, when you actually ask for facts. is the fuses on each heater so he can sell into EU. But you don't need a fuse on each heater in the EU. You just need a fuse on the heater secondary. If that's so you don't need a massive high rated fuse for the secondary of the heater, well, the preamp fuses still aren't fused. Oh, they might be hanging off one of the fuses. So yeah, maybe that is for EU. But you don't need to. I've shipped to the EU with no problem, because you're not shipping a finished product with a transformer and everything. I don't think you've got to adhere to that. Plus, how do they get vintage amps in the EU that don't have heater fuses? I have no ego, that's why I'm broke and single. Yeah, but I bet you're happy, Andy. I have an ego, but it's locked in its cage. Do you guys know the Skyhooks? The band, the Skyhooks from Australia in the 70s and 80s, 70s. They got a song called Ego. Is not a dirty word. I came into this world with nothing and I still have most of it. I like that. As long as you're not making something that kills anyone, that's all that matters. Unless you're a gun maker, then that's kind of your job. Alright, coffee's almost empty, so it's time to get to work. $8:47 AM. I wonder if Michelle's watching. You watching, woman? Classic Aussie track. There you go. Ego is not a dirty word. You should watch that video that Six just put up. I met Shirley Strawn once. He came into the woodworking shop I was working in. Long story. Essentially, I started working at the shop my brother was working at, and he went to TAFE with the guy who owns it. Still works there all these years later. I wanted some cash during high school, right, to buy booze and records and CDs and show tickets with, and maybe fix my motorcycle. No, that was later. Yeah, I just wanted money in high school, so I started working on the weekends at my brother's joinery shop where he worked, and the founder and boss of that company he went to TAFE with worked at another place together, and then Sam started his own business. Sam Harris, son of Peter Harris, who was a handyman TV celebrity. He was on Better Homes and Gardens in the DIY segment, like the home handyman segment. And he was on there with Shirley Strawn, who was a famous... he was the singer from the Skyhooks, but he was also a carpenter by trade. And that's why they call them Skyhooks, because carpenters and joiners were often told, you know, put a cupboard up there. It's like, well, what the fuck am I going to screw it to? There's nothing there. Like, there's no load-bearing wall or anything. So we joked that the architect told us to put it on Skyhooks, like mythical hooks that will just hold everything up. So he called the band Skyhooks after that carpenter's joke. And he became famous, but he was still on the show. And he was still, later on after the band sort of didn't fizzle out, but they had their big peak, and then he settled into the TV role as Australia's handyman. But what he'd often do is, oh, here's one we prepared earlier. So at the shop we were working at, we'd machine the timber and knock up the cabinet and that, and then he'd pretend like he made it on the TV. So he'd come in to pick up these cabinets or these fixtures that we'd built, and briefly met him when he was there. So that was pretty cool. And unfortunately, he died not long after from cancer. And yeah, legacy will live on. I thought they were called Skyhooks because of the old extraction techniques to remove people by playing without landing. No, I'm pretty sure it's his carpentry background, because we joked that the architects want us to put stuff on Skyhooks. What are you going to mount that on? Oh, Skyhooks. Yeah, it might be, I don't know.
I think, didn't that have a different name though? 6, there was a code name behind it, like a Operation, was it Operation Skyhook? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Oingo Boingo vibe. Yeah, I guess so. The 70s were awesome. Never knew what would come next. Yeah, I wish I was this age in the 80s. So I would have been like 30 in the 70s. I met Red Simons in the Melbourne Museum once. I should say, grinned and awkwardly at him. He wasn't a very approachable dude, but I had a feeling that he put that on quite a bit. And if you met him in person, I reckon he'd be a sweetheart. But maybe not. Maybe he was a cockhead. I don't know. That solder connection looks burnt to me. Oh, that's the half. Is that the? Just tracing out the HT caps, just to see what's what, champions. Like a bucket of steam. I was 30 in 1996. What was I in 1996? I was 14. No, 12. Yeah. Forgetting my own age there. Alright, so I'm just trying to find out what's connected to what. Okay, so that's the ground connection, yep, and then that's your HT, right. Alright, so we've got our HT, we've got our right hand output transformer primary voltage drop, and left hand. Skyhooks are what we call those big plastic cable hooks for temp lighting and power on construction sites. Now, I think the term got adapted to many different meanings. Alright, here goes nothing, champions. All the relays clicked, so the low voltage supplies must be working. We've got the Motu plugged in, we've got a mic on the speaker. Oh, look at me, how organised I am. The other thing we might do is hardwire the heaters in this case, just so there isn't a burn problem there with the fuse. 3.2, 3.2. We've got heater balance. All right, let's blow something up. $240 volts. 77 watts from the wall, which seems very low. 240 volts HT? Really? I don't think so. Okay, I'm on the wrong node. I see what I've done. I'm on the 47 mic caps, not the HT. I'm on the screen node. But that's very low for a screen node. 240. What? Now I've got skyhooks in my head. Ding 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 ding. So that's ground. Ding 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 ding. Oh, I was on the halfway node anyway. Yeah, I know what I've done. All right, let's try again. Ricky confirms Shirley Strawn died in a helicopter crash. I thought he got cancer. Oh no, it was a helicopter crash. Yeah. What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm embarrassed now. I'm getting him mixed up with someone else. He died in a helicopter crash. Yeah, sorry guys. I thought he got cancer. Okay, yeah, sorry. Who am I mixing up his death with? I can't remember. I'm an idiot. Yeah, he died in a helicopter. Okay, he died in a helicopter crash. Okay, yeah. I wonder what he was doing in a helicopter. I can't remember. Damn, I was 2 in 96. Hear that? Like a young Lucas. I remember my mum being pregnant with my sister, but that's it. That's awesome. It's good to see some young people here, as opposed to all you bloody boomers. Alright, go again. 485, that's more like it. 0.9, 0.8. Let's just check that resistance. Output transformer primary there. So about, say, average of 50, say 55, 56 ohm. 56 ohm. So these are known for being noisy even when the volume's all the way down because of their fucking stupid design. So you can probably hear the hiss. Oh, only if I enable the channel. So that's with all the volumes down. Reverb. Okay, so it's mainly the reverb. I thought I had the reverb down. Still a bit of hiss there. Besides that, so 0.8 divided by 55 ohms multiplied by, say, 485 is 14 watts divided by 30. So we're running around. Hang on, did I do that right? We'll go 0.8. So 7 watts. Yeah, divided by 30 is 23%, so very cold. Let's bring that up a little and have a play. Bearing in mind that, you know, we've got the usual cap stuff to sort no matter what. I get pretty embarrassed when I say really wrong shit on stream. I should probably just fucking go with the flow like everyone else does. Take her up to 85 watts from the wall. That should be about 50%, I reckon. You can hear them ticking as they're warming up. Alright, we're hitting the wall there. Alright, so that's maxed out. We're only at 84 watts from the wall. Say 1.2, average between them. Divided by 480, we'll go 483, because there is a difference there, the drop, well, 484, bugger all difference, champions. Multiply 24.8 milliamps by 485, sorry, I just pressed the wrong button. 21.8 milliamps multiplied by 485, 484, 10.6 watts divided by 30. So it's maxing out at 35%, which is a bit lame. Gen X and fiercely proud of it. Wait. You can't be Gen X if you're proud of something. Fuck off, Lucas. Play nice. No, it's all in jest. Get them to work filling potholes. They might. I mean, I saw they were picking up trash in DC because they had nothing else to do because there's no fucking crime. But anyway, not no crime, but you know, not as much as they made out. All right, let's have a listen. You all just need to move to Australia, man. I'm telling you. Free healthcare, better beer, good music. Well, that was nice. Just touch the volume control. Oh, no audio. Fucking hell. Huh? Forgot to unmute my mic. Sorry, champions. Yeah, you got to move to Australia. There's no DC on that pot. It's super weird. But yeah, that's it's like there's a break in the wafer because there's a defined crack there, which doesn't feel like it's dust moving around. It feels like there's a crack in the wafer, like there might be no ground reference at a certain point. But there's no DC on the pot, which is super weird because normally when they're that bad, they have like fucking 2 or 3 volts on it. And blew up and made us all deaf. Alright, so that bias has increased a bit. We might have mains fluctuation as well though, so let's not count that as a sign of failure. 241.6 volts. But now we're drawing 88 watts where it was only 84 before. So we'll keep an eye on those voltages, see if those valves are drifting, which they may be because they do look like they've had some heat damage to them. So yeah, probably need a new pot in that case because that's really bad. Let's have a look at the burn channel. Feel the burn. The Bernie Sanders channel. From memory, these amps actually don't sound too bad. But they are noisy. Gotta run. Fucking hell, he's in and out. Just like your mum. Time for golden hour photo walk. Oh yeah, do that first. Put up your Flickr link, Lyle, if you can. If you haven't gone already. I want people to go and look at your photos. I want to go look at them too. Wrong channel. Yeah, so that little break there, there's no connection to ground. There's no reference to ground. Because it goes full volume there for a sec. So I think new pot time. You expect to stream tomorrow? Good stuff. Because if I'm getting up at 4 fucking a.m., I want to know that you're streaming, alright? I get up at 4 a.m. No, I don't usually miss the first hour or two. Alright, so that burn channel sounds like fucking burnt ass. They've done so much filtering to it to try and get that creamy overdrive with no fucking air, no thump, just all mid-nasally shit. And I fucking hate that sound, man. Fender seem to do that to all their overdrive channels. How much better does it sound in bassman mode when you just crank it? To me, this side of the amp is dead to me. This side's where it's at. 3 controls. That's all you need. Crank it up. Just fucking be a man and deal with the volume. So, yeah. I don't like how they filter the distortion so much and get rid of all the... It's like, oh, you don't want anything above 2K. What do you want anything above 2K for? It's ice picky. It's not. That's where the fucking magic happens. But, you know, I'm a Marshall boy where they don't do that shit. So, there you go. So, I think... besides a pot replacement, a good clean and service, recap, rebuild the low voltage supply, upgrade the resistors, fix the, replace the blown balance resistor. We'll just double check that. 237, 241. So it's not too far out of balance. 240. 242. But yeah, we'll upgrade them to 1 watt metal film. Besides all that, champions, and the speaker plug, we'll repair that and figure out what's going on with those jacks and why you felt the need to plug the thing in. Besides all that, which is a good amp. Fender OD losed 3D sound, I agree. Yeah, it's just a one-dimensional fucking middly, boxy fucking bleh. The only good Fender distortion is on a 50s or 60s bassman. The Sidekick 30, cheap shitbox amp, actually had a good overdrive. One of the few Fender amps with a good overdrive, and it was made in Japan, so maybe that's why, because they probably just put a pedal in it. It's almost DST for me. Live streams will be moving from 7 a.m. to a much more achievable 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. Come on, Lucas, I get up at bloody 4 a.m. But I'm an old bastard, so whatever. Enjoying, Brad, and we'll catch Lyle tomorrow. Thanks for the stream. It's midnight there, Martin. No worries, get to bed, mate. You can always watch me later. You don't have to be live. It is fun, though. 60s Vibrolux. So, this front end, you got Vibrolux registered trademark or Bassman registered trademark. At the moment, we're in Bassman mode. So, I'll play that for a bit, and then I'll switch over to Vibrolux mode so you can hear the difference. So there you bloody have it. Better check the speaker too, and better check the reverb, because that always bites me in the ass every time I don't check them. We've got a blown speaker or a buggered reverb tank. So I'll just remove them. Get my long chucha. Pretty windy outside today. Go for a walk and or run after work today. I'm going to force myself. I keep just going, oh, no, I've got too much work, Get here at 6, 7 a.m. And then, oh, no, I'll go tonight. And then it's 7 p.m. and I just want to go home. Oh, I'll do it in the morning. So I wake up in the morning. Oh, no, I've got to get to work. I've got to force myself and realise that keeping fit is just as important as work. Just when you've got people nipping at your heels every day, all day, it's easy to put it on a bit of a back burner. Where am I going to put the tank so it doesn't fucking pick up tons of noise? Needle and a spoon. That it is. Good song. Never did heroin. Sometimes feel like I missed out a bit. See a lot of people who thought they were cool. I've seen a lot of people who thought they were cool, yeah. There's the lyrics. Fender Sidekick is 2 TL072 preamp. Yeah, and it sounded good because they didn't filter the fuck out of it like they did. Compare that circuit for me, Ted, to the FM212 overdrive, because that is so filtered. They've just lopped everything above 2K off. Just thinking, oh, yeah, you don't need treble, you don't need peak attack, you don't need sparkle, you don't need any fucking string sound at all. You just want... It's like playing with your guitar with the tone all the way down. It's fucked. That is a seriously dusty reverb tank. Alright, so... Just get my speaker extension lead, which I need to upgrade the connectors on with the $1 million Switchcraft 121 socket instead of this cheap piece of shit. It's not something you want to gamble with, the old speaker connection. I've just got this one, so it's all well and good to test with the signal generator to sweep a speaker, but you don't get the full volume experience and how it's going to perform and react with the amp. So let's do that. Keep an eye on that wattage too, because it's slowly climbing after playing. But I think I might just give an option for a new pair of 6L6s in that, because seeing how hot they are and seeing how cold that amp was biased, I think we've got an issue in the output stage 2. It's probably those valves running away, because if they're sitting at 30%, man, or 23% or whatever it was when we first tested it, there's no way it would have discoloured that writing. They'd still look like new. Heavy, loud, sound like shit. Yeah, Lucas, the clean channel sounds really good on them though. They are fantastic amps if you're running pedals or modeler or something, or just multi-effects with the distortion in your pedals, basically. If you're just running it as a pedal platform, they're perfect for that. But that overdrive channel sounds like fucking ass. And not fucking ass in the good way either. Like, I'll take my 2203 over any Fender for overdrive, yep. And I love my 66 Deluxe reverb. Look, Marshall don't do anything that gets you that big, fat, slightly overdriven blues and rock sound. So, you know, I reckon you need a Fender. You need, all right? Go out and buy a Vibrolux. You need one today. But yeah, Vibrolux is my favourite sort of overdrivey Fender. Deluxe reverb's great. Crank it up. And, it's a bit more of a bitey overdrive, but I was talking about this to Lyle and I was saying Fender amps are sort of like prime lenses for cameras. You got to get the power level that you need, like the zoom level that you need, and it kind of just does that. So if you've got a small gig, you take Princeton. You got a medium gig, you take Deluxe reverb. You want that sweet overdrive, you get a Vibrolux. You want the fucking big clean or massive overdrive, so you only get the twin. It's like locking yourself into a fixed zoom lens, right? But then any master volume amps is like a zoom. If that makes any sense. Fixed focal length, I mean. I'm talking shit. Anyway, let's move on. From Akadaka to a bit of shadows, as you do. I think my first was the Yamaha TA90, the wedge with the trapezoid eye, those fucking horrible things. Yeah, with the like foam speaker cone, not even a cone. 13th Floor Elevators, I love them, Ted. Such a good band. Shame about Rocky Erickson and his mental struggles, but having said that, would the band have been what it was if it wasn't for that? I'd prefer to have no music from them and have a healthy, happy man than have him go through torture and create amazing art, because at the end of the day, I don't want art to be made at the expense of anyone. But he did produce some amazing art. I didn't mic that cab up then. I was just sitting in front of the other cab, so it wasn't close mic'd. All right, we know what we've got to do to that. Let's just get into a good old-fashioned bloody get a job done mode, hey? I might continue streaming. I thought Shell was going to help me today, but then I remembered she's going to that wedding, so I'm here by myself today. So if it gets busy, we've still got like 40 minutes until we open. But if it gets busy, I might just have to mute while I serve people. It is a bit tricky on Saturdays, usually the busiest day, because everyone, well, some people have trouble getting here through the week. But if the young bloke starts soon, we might, because he's the only real day he can work that we're open is Saturday, because he's still going to school. So I might start being open late on Thursdays, because we have late night shopping here. So the shop's usually open till like 9 o'clock on Thursday. Great memories of my 50s Les Paul into a deluxe reverb. Not boasting, those were the days. Those were the days before vintage gear. Wow. Yeah. Bet you wish you still had them. Maybe you do, I don't know. Twin is a good call, but my god, they are so loud. When I played with Bruce Bartlett, fuck. He had a 64 twin reverbs, and even behind them I had to wear earplugs, yeah. They are loud. Vibrolux isn't an fucking hell. The Vibrolux isn't an inexpensive amp though. No, it's not, but it is an awesome one. I thought 18 watt Marshall does the big blue sound as well. Well, yeah, it does. Let's find out. On the it doesn't as much, but yeah, we'll do that because it's basically a basement. Here's one I built about 10 years ago. I think you guys you might not have seen the guts of this one. But yeah, I just built this when I had the home workshop, just so people had a nice amp to play through when they picked up their guitar after a setup or whatever. So it's just the 18 watt TMB. The only thing I sourced was the chassis and the face plates. Everything else I built. Pardon me. So plywood cabinet. A little bit worried about the construction of that now, looking at the one I've got at home. I think I might have recessed the front panel too far. No, I think that one's just more proud than usual. Leather badge was my trademark. The only other thing is I've just used probably a half inch round over bit there, whereas the Fenders have, the Marshalls have a asymmetrical curve on it by using an oversized router bit, but not in its like optimal range, like overcutting. I mean, so it comes to a point down here. You've probably seen the vintage plexis and that. They're not like a full circle round over. And on the back, got some stainless steel mesh there, which I polished up with some Scotch Brite for the ventilation. Probably should have made that cut out a bit bigger. It's a bit tight to that. But this is me criticising myself. I criticise everyone, champions, even myself, more me than anyone else, trust me. Yeah, a little bit close to that fuse holder. I might take that off and cut it bigger and re-Tolex it this weekend. I don't know, do we want to play it first and then have a listen first and then have a look at the guts? As I said, I did this about 10 years ago, so there's probably stuff in there I'll do different now, or definitely would be stuff that I'll do different now. And probably some differences to the circuit, which I may still enact. I may still go back in time and give it a chooch. Yeah, I was going to just take it home and have it as my main amp at home, but once you're bitten by the bug, champions, you think, what can I build next? What can I build next? This is a perfect amp for at home, but it doesn't quite get there into the full-on metal. Yeah, no need for standby. I shouldn't have even put the standby switch on. The only reason I did is because it had a hole for it. Don't listen to Brad, he's a dick. Who, me? Yeah, I'm a dick. First amp I built was a Stereotone. Yeah, well, that's pretty much this one, Ian. I think I even followed the Stereotone schematic, because the Fender schematic kind of doesn't exist, because Marshall schematic kind of doesn't exist, because Marshall never really made this amp, from what I gather. It's sort of a take on the 18 watt lead and bass, but with master volume and 2 channels. Alright, just mute myself. checking my settings. Was that clipping before? Have I got the filters set wrong? Was that clipping when I was testing the Supersonic? Because it wasn't showing it was clipping on the screen there, but just looking then, it wasn't showing it was clipping on the screen, but it was clipping on the device. Keep meaning to fix that bloody plug on my cord, champions. Alright, so yeah, you get the vibe. Sort of meat and potatoes tone, nothing fancy, but just does what it says on the tin, you know. Like to hear a humbucker. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't do that, did I? Just one sec. Okay, that sounded like my guitar almost fell off the wall because it shifted in the hook. A bit scary. I've got to work on my repertoire this weekend, champions. I keep playing the same fucking riffs over and over again because I'm a shit guitarist. I love it when commenters are like, "Oh, your playing sucks." And it's like, yeah, I know. Fucking news flash. Thank you. Sky's blue too. Water's wet. I think they've fucking owned you with a comment. Like, dude, you don't own shit. that song as much of a hit over there as it was here? I can't remember the band name. It was like, open up your eyes, let your mind tell a story, or something like that. I can't remember the song, but it was huge on like butt rock radio station over here, but it was actually a pretty good song. Was it like Lemon Parade, something of the, I don't know. Yeah, that's a little choo-choo. It does things like that pretty well without a fuss. So let's look at the guts. Screwdriver, yes. It's getting pretty warm back here, cranking the tube amps with the lighting. There's so many players, like, if I was a fucking amazing player and a tech and this and that, it's like, how much time do you think I've got to get good at these things? Like, there's only 70 hours in the day. Some people are naturally talented, or they'll be an amazing guitarist, then they'll get into tech work and become a decent tech as well. But fuck, how many hours have you got, champions? Like, do you still live at home with your mummy and your daddy, and you don't have to earn any money? Like, I am pretty good at just whipping it out, Andy. Just ask the judge. I think that's why I sort of sit on the A chord and the D chord, and the, you know, because you just grab it and fucking bang. What do I play? I don't know. Just. But what's kind of weird is how people do a demo and they just play widdly bits. It's like, do you realise that 99% of your playing is going to be playing rhythm, and you didn't play any fucking rhythm to test the amp, dickhead? So I like to just play rhythm because that's what you spend most of your time doing. Now I was a bit sneaky with this. It looks like the glue doesn't like the heat much. What I've done on my more recent ones is I put a heat shield, aluminium on the top, and I've overlaid the Tolex so the Tolex can't peel back. So that's another thing I do now. I use the threaded inserts though, so we've got machine screws for all the covers so they don't get munched out over time, and I've used the feet screws as the chassis screws, so it's nice and not Swiss cheese cabinet. This plus the AC15 I played recently convinced. You know why I built this amp? Because I went through 3 Mesa Boogies and I thought why do they sound so shit? There's got to be something wrong. Unless you scoop the living fuck out of the EQ, they just sounded boxy and horrible. And then I built this, so simple, like a fucking 1/10 of the amount of parts, and I was like, nope, that's the sound I want. And got rid of the Mesa Boogie that afternoon. I started on a Triaxis and a DC-10, the Triaxis and a Simulclass 290. That didn't work, so I sold them and got a DC-10, thinking maybe there's something wrong with it, better get rid of it. Got rid of it, got a DC-10, exactly the same problem. And then sold them and I was very disillusioned. So then I bought this, bought the parts for this, built it. And I was like, there's my sound, right there, with fuck all parts. The big reveal. Let's look at the cabinet first. So solid pine, plywood front and back. I've overlaid the Tolex way too much there. No need for that. Yeah, solid pine finger joint. Still nice and solid. I think I used epoxy on that one. He wanted to burn Clapton because Clapton didn't play rhythm. Hey, dude. I didn't know that, but yeah, okay. Just missed a Marshall 1968 4x10 cabinet for $400. Man, I sold one of them by accident for $300 Australian, so that's like 150 American. That was years ago. Sorry, this plus the AC15 I played recently convinced me that I need to build a lower wattage gigging amp. Yeah, probably 15, maybe even 30 watt. With EL84s, I like to stick to the 15. Well, this is about 15 watts clean, this thing. It says 18, but at the verge of clipping, it's putting out about 15, which is heaps. But yeah, as Jay said, 2 or even 1 4x12 cabinet will make it scream. This thing plugged into the 1974 Marshall quad up the front is fucking heaven. As long as you don't want to get into the full metal stuff, like it pushes into the heavy rock, as you heard then. But you were getting a fair bit of distortion from the EL84s then too, which is another thing I've got to do to this, upgrade the screen grid resistors, because I didn't know about it back then. I think the valves were a bit better back then too. We weren't seeing failures left, right and centre. We're running a JJ's rectifier in that. Might bypass that with some solid state. I'm a bit over rectifier valves, to be honest, in Marshall builds anyway. I think they sort of work against you a bit. Now, remember, champions, 10 years ago, so I used fucking 3 watt metal film everywhere because it was the only ones I had that had a long enough lead to reach the turrets, because I did a silly turret board off a pre-existing layout. Whereas as you've seen in the Dirty Shirley Cranky Karen, I came up with my own layout instead of copying pre-existing layouts to take advantage of modern components with shorter leads. So in this case, we didn't need that current that power rating on those components, but we had to use them because otherwise you're tack soldering or you know, splicing longer leads everywhere, and it was a fucking nightmare. But yeah, I no need whatsoever to use that high a power rating on any of those resistors, pretty much any of them. Maybe the 33k, but that's it. Yeah. But yeah, lots of silly stuff. Some stuff I've done which isn't great either. I've used the Panasonic ECQ or whatever series caps, but I bent them right at the body. And you can see there it opens up the enamel a bit and allows some moisture ingress, so that's not great either. Should have like a 1/8 of an inch straight section before you bend the lead, and then you're fine. And I've mounted them upside down, which is not necessarily required. I don't know why I did that. I mean, nothing's supporting them that way. There'd be no difference if they were pointing upwards, and it's not like they're getting in the way of anything. I used silver mica, and they're the shit ones for that one, so I'll probably change that out with a V-Shay. But how do you, like, do you rebuild the whole thing, or do you just, it is what it is? This has only got, it doesn't have screen grid valves, screen grid resistors on the output valves. It's only got the screen dropper, which is higher value than usual, but I'd like to lower that dropper and then put individual screen grid resistors on the valve sockets, which is doable because we've got unused pins there. And probably put 1.5k in that case. Got backup diodes on the rectifier. We've got a loose standby switch, so I better put a lock washer on that. We've got a ground bus, which isn't part of the original layout, but I went with a bus style thing, but we could probably optimize those grounds a bit better too. You can see there we've got the phase inverter node grounded on the same as the preamp bus. Yeah, so I might revisit that. I might not put that away. I might do that later today, because she's a fun little amp to play. I'd like to see it be as reliable as possible. Having said that, about 10 years service with no issues is pretty good for an amp, and it gets used pretty much every day. And it's still got the original Electro Harmonix valves in it. The old Nichicons. The old VX series. Anyway, just thought you might want to have a look up the skirt. Oh, it's got these beautiful beautiful impedance switches there. The Japanese made ones. They're fucking awesome. Unfortunately, they're discontinued. what coax wire is that? Looks like some nice stuff. That's silver plated RG174 something. Teflon outer jacket. That had some of that. The only problem with it is the core's really thin, so you've got to be super careful with it. It's not very resilient, so that's why I'm looking for some other stuff. I've got to order live with Mouser, so I'll try out some types of coax there and report back. I've got some super thin 75 ohm stuff as well. That's Teflon. That's really good for like wireless packs and stuff, internal repairs on portable electronics. Too close to focus? Too drunk to fuck? No, there we go. So yeah, look how small that is, and that's silver plated as well. Teflon inner and outer jacket. So that's really good for super delicate stuff, like maybe even headphone repairs. But this stuff here, there it is. That's the stuff I used in this amp, which is again Teflon, PTFE outer jacket. I think it's a polyethylene inner jacket though, so you got to be careful with how much heat you put into it. This stuff was cool. I thought I'll hang on to this because that would come in handy for headphone repairs. This was off some Fishman. What's the brand? Graphtech pickup saddles from a Parker Fly, because they love to lose their little ball bearings. So Graphtech made a solid graphite infused plastic version. Looks like glass fiber reinforced graphite infused plastic, but they had connectors for the modern type of preamp, whereas this one had hard solder connections, so I just cut them off and thought, oh, I'll hang on to them, because that's some really thin gauge coax that might come in handy for some super close up repairs in the future. Close up, super tiny repairs, you know what I mean. Fuck. Yeah, but even back then, soldering seemed to be okay-ish. No major issues there. So remember, this is 10 years old. Heater wiring down against the back, nice and tight, just like I like it. Even then, I knew to have a dedicated eyelet there as close as possible, not mounted to anything else for the ground. Got a little bit of cable management there, just holding everything in place. All Hammond transformers, as I said. Chucked a few little tag strips there for the grounding points. So that's like your dirty ground. That's your HT center tape and your screen node. And then you've got, and that's grounded there. That's probably why it's reasonably quiet still, although I probably in hindsight would put the cut that off and put the phase inverter ground along with those ones too, because it's got some degree of common mode rejection in that stage, and it's pretty quiet as it is, so I'll probably just leave it. But yeah, no soldering bullshit across the back of the pots. And down here for the tone stack for the tone pot for the I guess you could say clean channel. I've mounted a little board down there instead of just having stuff, go to the wire and just floating around, so that way everything's mechanically stable. And I got the rip-off cliff jacks there. They're not actual cliff, so I might put some cliffies in there. But they're gold-plated and they're still alright. Yeah. Little trip down memory lane. Could put an effects loop in it, but it being moderate gain, probably not worthwhile. I might put that Metro effects loop in the Cranky Karen instead. Oh, it's so light. I went to pick it up like it was going to be heavy. I love the 1750 PA transformers because they spray them matte black and they've got that cool vintage look to them. Paper former. Just give that a bit of a dust while we're here. JJ's multi-section can cap. might put that aside. I might do something with that this afternoon, champions. I know I've got no time, but you got to do some little fun projects to keep passionate. If you just do work, you start to hate it. But if you disguise work as a fun little project, you do work without it feeling like work. So that's a little trick that I play. We've only got 10 minutes left, champions. We've done fuck all. Oh, I've got some info that I can fire off for a quote on that supersonic. So that's something, I guess. Man, that thing's light. I reckon that weighs like 4 kilos. 5 kilos, maybe. What's next? Let's start gutting this thing. This was the DSL 401 from a couple of streams ago. Less shot noise. That's not shot noise, Ted. You're thinking of Johnson noise. There's many different sources.
There's many different sources of noise.
In an amp. Resistor noise primarily is what they call Johnson noise. Shot noise, I guess, yeah, you'd still get shot noise, but generally when people think about shot noise, they're referring to a valve, and it's literally the quantization, the quantum, literally the variations in the frequency of the electrons hitting the fucking plate causes noise. Johnson noise is like the noise that every conductor generates or contributes if it's above absolute zero from just literally the fucking electrons moving around in less than perfectly even. It's hard to describe. It's like rain, right? If all the rain was falling as a perfect sheet of water, it wouldn't sound like rain. But because it's this slight variances in the regularity of the raindrops, that's basically where that's why rain sounds like white noise, you know? Because it's basically, think of that happening, and the ground is the anode, and the raindrops are the electrons. That's how it generates the noise. And that's a super abstract and dumb version of, oh, hello, I've got a Michelle. Can you make me a coffee? No, fuck. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Bradley.
Were you watching me this morning?
Nope.
Is that why you didn't bring me a coffee?
Yep.
What you doing?
Spicing it up. Just thought I'd come say hello.
Just 1 second, I just got to go smooch. You want to come say hello? Huh?
Hi, everybody.
Here's the mic.
Yeah, I was looking at it, bro.
The mic.
Oh, I don't need it. Everyone can hear me.
Yeah.
My voice projects.
You are pretty noisy.
Eh.
We were just talking about noise.
Oh, yeah.
White noise.
God, that writing is so small. I
Yeah.
can't keep up with it.
I'll watch it up here.
Oh, nice.
It's a bit easier.
Yeah.
That way I'm looking at the lens. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you look just semi-professional.
Semi.
Semi.
I got my gay colours in the background.
They're the rooster colours, bro.
Rooster.
Red
Yeah,
and
but
blue.
see, it looks different on the lens because the colour correction's
Oh,
different.
wow, it looks like really pink.
Yeah, it's actually red and blue. But it looks like
Yeah.
pink and blue.
Yeah, like
Ish.
baby pink almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the penis.
Yes. It's ever present.
Tickle, wickle, wickle. All right,
Why
enjoy
do
your.
you guys stand here? What do you come for?
They come. They come for the laughs, mate. Bit of comedic relief.
Yeah, maybe I should get my own channel.
I put the dick in comedic. Have fun at the wedding.
I will.
I'll have fun here by myself in the garage. Just
It's
holding
like your
down the
natural
fort.
habitat, bro.
Holding down the fort, getting the Aprilia back on the road. Finding out how many thousands of dollars I've got to spend on it.
Yes, yes.
Do you want to show them your guitar playing?
No, I haven't practiced in a long time, in a while.
What songs are you playing?
I can play...
Concrete Blonde?
No, What's Up, by Four Non Blondes.
Four Non Blondes. I'm thinking Concrete Blonde,
And
sorry.
Shivers.
Shivers, because it's got
Screaming
two chords. Two chords.
Shout out to Scotty. That's
Who's-
the first song I learned.
Shout out. I don't think Scotty's here today. He might watch it later. That's who's that by though? Shivers. Who
I
wrote
just
it?
know it by Screaming Jets.
Who wrote it?
I don't know. Someone
A
else.
birthday party. Nick Cave, mate.
Okay.
Nick
then.
Cave,
Right,
legend.
right. Yeah.
I don't think you'd like the original version. No, it's a bit raw.
I probably need to learn a Pearl Jam song. Like,
Yeah, they're hard though.
I know,
They're
exactly.
actually deceivingly hard. They sound simple.
I'll just sing along. It is my favourite.
What's that? I try to recognize your face. What's that song? Old lady in a shut window thing.
Oldly lady behind a counter in a
Yeah,
small town.
maybe do that one because it's like got the chords that you can lean on,
Okay.
and you can lean on them. Yeah. Now, champions, you might realise how she puts up with me because she's just as much of a clown.
You gotta be.
Yeah.
Alright. Have a great day, guys. Or evening. Good night. See you later.
Summer midnight, summer afternoon, summer morning. All right, have fun.
Alright, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Can you leave the door open? It was already open.
Yeah, I'm about to open the shot. It's only 5 minutes away. Starting to lose my voice anyway, as happens after 3 hours. Rightio, DSL 401. Let's remove the valve retainer cover. Thanks for sharing your bloke. I don't think she has much of a say in it. Oh, come on, it's a wedding. Of course it's an open bar, Ted. It's a wedding in Australia, mate. That's the most important thing at weddings, to get drunk. And get a bridesmaid back in the day, but these days I've got one. Actually, not a bridesmaid this one, but she has been one. So we've got to remove the main board. I don't know if you remember from this one, but we've got some a burnt heater fuse. Ooh, those pins are way out of alignment. Yugoslavia, back in the day. Those valves are really hard to remove, and you can see the pins are misaligned, so it's like it's putting undue pressure on the valve socket contacts. See, there's one or two that are pushing inwards. So we'll straighten them up. I've got a little tube straightener, which is, I think they used to ship the valves with it attached. I can't find it. I have to dig it out. I don't know where it's gone. But yeah, I've got a little, it's like a little Bakelite valve pin straightener. I like to use that. Do not miss playing the wedding gigs. Yeah, everyone's shit-faced and asking for Mustang Sally and Nutbush City Limits. Is that a thing over there? You guys dance the Nutbush at every wedding? It's like a massive thing over here. Like, we actually specifically at our wedding said no Nutbush City Limits, no Mustang Sally, no matter what. We had a jazz band. Started off as a three-piece, and then my brother saw a video on their webpage with a three-piece horn section as well. So, because he was paying for the band as the wedding gift, he said, "Nah, you gotta have the brass as well." The chicken song. Oh Jesus, no, we don't do that at weddings. Generally not, unless it's super lame. We do that at Oktoberfest. The chicken song's a big one, and Oktoberfest is... Fuck, is it today? It is. Oktoberfest starts today. Happy Oktoberfest to my, what's the name? Whatever you are. Fucking Germans. We shave our nut bushes off. Yeah. Bit of a shame these days, eh? No one's got any pubes. Kind of miss it. Back when I did it, chicken dance, electric slide, Macarena. Oh, fuck. Ugh, Macarena. The big cover song we had at ours was what's the song? Teenage, you know, Chuck Berry. You never can tell, because our wedding dance we did the Pulp Fiction dance. You know, we took our shoes off too, so we did it in our socks. We were sliding around on the floor, and then everyone else did the same. So there were fucking shoes everywhere. It's great. Great. Where's the beef? Yeah, where's the beef? That was an interesting thing about that lady. Apparently, the original line was, "What happened to all the beef?" or "Where did all the beef go?" or something. But she had emphysema, so she could only get like 3 or 4 words out in one sentence. So they just changed it to "Where's the beef?" because she couldn't say any more than that before she ran out of breath. Kill me now if I have to play Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great soundtrack, wasn't it? The old Pulp Fiction. Always had a good taste in music. The old Footy McFoot. Foot Fetish Man. And From Dusk Till Dawn. What was the name in that? The actress? Holy fuck. Takes years off your life just seeing her in that. Unchained Melody. You know a song that came on Unchained Melody? I don't know. I haven't heard that too many times, so it's still like that song. I don't know. Wonderful Tonight. Yeah. You can get sick of that one. My Hero. That's another fucking... Oh, that song was good when it came out, but the radio destroyed it, man. They absolutely destroyed that song. Foo Fighters are ruined for me, man. I used to walk around listening to the first album all the time. Big Me and whatnot, but radio destroyed Foo Fighters for me. I see overnight 9 Inch Nails have released a few more songs off the Tron soundtrack. There's 2 more that I saw. I still haven't listened to them yet, so I'll watch that when I get off stream. Alright, so we can't lift it out because it's held captive at the back. See, the jacks are poking out, and it's held captive at the front. See, the pots are poking out. So you literally can't remove the board until you remove the front panel. Alright, it's 10:01. Got to open the shop. Should I keep streaming? Of course, you guys are going to say yeah, but... Is there anyone else I can raid? Anyone else streaming right now? Let me just open the shop, champions, just in case someone rocks up. Get some music going. What do we want to listen today? I was listening to Phronesis yesterday. Most of yesterday. If you haven't heard Phronesis, look them up. Phronesis. Oh, it's windy. I'll leave the door shut, even though it's getting warm in here. Because the car park's like a dust bowl, and every time a gust of wind comes up, it fills my fucking shop with dust. I'm gonna get some better door. Comes under the door as well. Might be time for another coffee. I might go for a walk up. Actually, are they open yet? I think they open it Saturday. YouTube music. Oh, I might listen to Magewell today. It's a Mogwai kind of day. Oh, it's still on phronesis. No, let's go Mogwai. Bit of Scottish music there, just for Martin Reed. Anyone else streaming? Nah, no text anyway. Oh well, we'll carry on. Eyes without a face. That song makes me laugh. I think of a Cheshire Cat every time that song comes on. Eyes without a face. Oh, customer already. There you go, mate. What's happening?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Champions, straight into it. No rest for the wicked, eh? Where were we? Hope you're having fun chatting amongst yourselves. Oh, I'm way back in the chat. Wish would have tried to learn to build amps years ago. Now I'm just too scatterbrained to learn. Reason why I sent that old amp to Frank. Oh, is that your amp, Joe? Which one was that? Yeah, Frank's a legend. Really like that he's fine-tuning it, not just reviving it. Sometimes, champions, it's nice to just get someone else to sort your shit out for you, to be honest. My attention span goes away quick. I can rewire a guitar, but amps, nope. Maybe you just need to get checked out there, mate. You might have a little bit of the old ADD happening. Just need a bit of the old medical attention. A lot of techs have ADD. Pretty much all of us, I think. I'm kind of thinking maybe it's a prerequisite. Where was I? Undoing screws, that's right. Starting to get a bit of a headache, champions. I think I need something to eat. Only had a coffee today. Need some fluids and foodage. Got a protein bar there, that'll do me. Let's just check there's no stray voltages before I go lifting the board up. That's a trick I love to do. Shock myself with a little bit of charge. Where are we? There's a ground. Where's the ground? We still attached to ground? Where's the ground connection to the chassis? Let's just check. Plate to cathode. 0 volts. Two millivolts. Alright, where? Oh, we've got another screw hiding. And we're free as a bird. Let's disconnect that one from that side and put it back in that side. And we can work on it upside down. Not a bad little amp to work on, champions. Normally these come in burnt to a crisp. But this one, I think I tested the bias last time and it wasn't hectic. It was like 60%, so that's good. Very rare for an EL84 amp. Normally they flog them like a fucking red-headed stepchild. So we've got some burnt flux on there though. We'll clean that off. We'll check the solder joints, and the main issue being this fuse down here. Not the brown one. That is a fuse too, by the way. This one here is the issue. Another heater fuse with an underrated fuse holder. Almost pulled that right out of its socket. And you can see even the fuse itself has burning inside the fuse element. Now these aren't evacuated. There's no vacuum inside these. There's just oxygen. So that's gotten so hot that the filament has actually oxidized at either end. And that's not from being overrated. That's from the caps being overheated from lack of surface area, causing a high resistance and therefore a massive dissipation of energy on that contact. Looking down here, we can see that solder connection's absolutely fucked. So, no need for a heater fuse because we're not in the EU, so let's just hardwire that. A bit of bus wire. And get rid of the fuse holder. Now that solder's so... shit. That solder is so oxidized that it may not even melt. We'll see how we go. Yeah, no, separated. That's alright. Get some flux on there. Flux on, flux off. Yeah, out you come, champ. Look at that. Blackened. Blackened is a muscle fuse. Blackened. Mark's grilling and smoking. He's always grilling and smoking. It's a tough life for old Mark. He should start a restaurant. He does it so often. He's clearly got it down to a T. Oh, that's the quick connect. Okay, so if I run some bus wire, looks like we might be able to tap into that center hole to get a mechanical connection. Burnt ends, yeah. I'm making burnt ends right here, Mark. Burnt fuse ends. Good on you, Wes. Bus wire. Wherefore art thou? Therefore art thou. Bussin'. Isn't that what the kids say when something's good? Bussin'. So I like to get my little gagey McGage face and just form the legs roughly. Very roughly. You'll occasionally get people going, oh, you can't bypass fuses. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't bypass fuses, except for in this very specific case. The biggest thing that causes destruction inside of amps is when a short occurs but doesn't maintain enough current to blow the primary fuse. For example, like a HT short. We'll say like a low voltage short, which just causes fire and destruction. See, mess a boogie. Or it burns the traces, because the traces are too thin to maintain the current required when there is a short circuit to maintain the current to blow the mains fuse. So it sets fire to the board. Again, see, mess a boogie. The heater winding, if there is a short, is more than happy to conduct very well and maintain enough current to very quickly blow the mains fuse. So that's why most manufacturers didn't bother installing a heater fuse. However, in the EU they have an all-encompassing law that doesn't take into account any nuance. They just have a law by a pencil pushing dickhead with a clipboard who declared that all secondaries must be fused, despite the difficulties that arise in trying to do that and the unreliable results. That's why older amps and amps not destined for the EU don't bother fusing the heater. There's no requirement to. Where can I get smaller than Costco size brisket? Well, I couldn't help you with that because I'm in Australia. I get all my brisket from Scotty and Maddie and the lads up at East Blackson.
East Blackson Butchery. Where's my phone?
Copyright. 100% battery, I can run that up right now then. I might smoke something, eh? Ooh. Fucking Scotty shuts before I finish work though. Do you reckon it would be rude for me to shut the shop and go buy a brisket and then come back? I'd love to get the smoker going tomorrow. I wonder if I could get Scotty to give it to the bottle shop to put in their fridge, because I'm mates with them too. Of course I am. He could wrap up a brisket for me and then he could put it in the cool room and then I could buy beer as well. Fucking possibilities are endless, champions. Not rude at all. Yeah, not to you guys, because you're not standing out the front waiting for a fucking pack of strings or something. RJ, how you going, legend? I didn't know you were here. What's going on? You guys subscribe to RJ yet? Go say g'day. You're smoking something right now. Who the fuck here isn't smoking something? Sounds like you're all standing around the barbie listening to me. Line Circle, how you going, mate? Sorry, I've been off the chat a little bit. I don't know who's here and who's not. Let's have a look at the stats. It seems like the whole gang's here. Be nice to see some other bros with other channels, but you know, they're busy boys. Oh, what's up on the pipe burn? Let's have a look. You can tell ADD's kicking in. Tends to do that when I'm hungry. Pipe burn. Harley Davidson, 1916 Harley Davidson. Saw this one yesterday, an XR1200. Fucking hell. This one. Go on internet. Aprilia. Oh yeah. 2ono V4 1100. What a beast. Look at the fucking tyres on it, would you? What kind of power is that putting out? What a badass looking bike. Oh, come on, give me the specs. Give me the specs. Little pipe on it. 180 horses. But they're not telling you what the torque is. That's the thing with twins. You go, it's 180 horsepower. Yeah, but that's at like 2,000 revs. What was I doing? I think I've lost it, eh? Really want to do some ribs. I haven't done ribs for ages. Maybe I should do ribs. Normally do beef ribs when I do them, but I haven't done pork ribs in ages. Maybe I'll do them. What's the best wood to get the flavour you want? Well, I use red ironbark. It's one of the hardest and most dense timbers in Australia. Like a little log like that's like 5 kilos. It's fucking heavy as. And we get it for firewood because one piece of firewood lasts fucking ages and keeps your whole house warm. But it's also a perfect smoking wood. Now, most of the eucalypts are poisonous. If you use them for smoking, you'll get tap ass and it'll taste horrible. Tap ass. That's where your ass works like a tap. But ironbark is one of the few that doesn't. It's still a eucalypt, but it doesn't have whatever poison in it. Makes it trouble guts. Green apple splatters territory. But it's a very mild smoke. You'd think being such a dense wood, it would be a very strong smoke, but it is. It smells beautiful and it's very It's a very subtle smoke, so you can keep it smoking for a while. You don't have to pump it in and then turn it off. You can actually fuel your smoker with it. So we've got a thing here called meat stock. I don't know. Do you guys? You probably have meat smoking festivals over there, but there's a thing here in Sydney at the remember the Olympics in 2000, year 2000, Sydney Olympics. At that place, they put on meat stock. Now, it started off as just a nerd, smoking nerds festival, but now it's a music festival too. And they have all side shows and stuff. Scotty and the boys go there. They've got car shows, the whole lot. It's awesome. Have a go at it. It's grown so much since I first went there. Yeah, it's a wicked show. So it's in May, as the weather starts getting cooler. And that's all the stands and stuff, the big guys anyway. But all the smaller butchers go in the competitions. And they have competitions, events. Barbecue Wars, Heat Beads. It's sponsored by Heat Beads. Butcher Wars. So you can register your butcher shop. And you go there and you camp out. And they all get shit-faced, camping out for 3 days. Scotty used to go, but he said he had to stop going because his fucking liver was going to kill him. Hello, does your website work? Nah. Might have to go back. Music. There we go. Bliss and Esso. Nice. Aussie hip-hop. Furnace and the Fundamentals. Illy. Okay, so they're doing a hip-hop thing this year. Andy Coolidge is really good. You should check him out. Got an amazing voice. Frank Sultana. I think that's Sash Sultana's dad too. I think from memory. Tash Sultana, sorry. Did I say Sash? Yeah, not a bad lineup. That's alright. They had a really rock-oriented lineup, I think last year or this year. It looks like they're going hip-hop this time. Whatever. Still good fun. They got beers there everywhere. They got stands. They got an expo where you can go in and look at the products and shit. You know, just barbecue expo basically. All the different spices and rubs and pickles and chopping boards and barbecues and bloody, you name it. And you got the guests, the celebrity culinary dudes, and that's the events, the competitions and whatever. Yeah, if any of this want to see Australia's take on barbecue, it's pretty close from what I gather to the States. They've sussed out a lot of it. So, but yeah, I went there 3 years ago, I think. I just got the shop, so maybe it was longer than that. And just laughing, she was chowing down on a massive pork lollipop the size of a head. Dirty minds. So yeah, I got there and I didn't know, because it's a pretty big area where it is. I didn't know exactly where it was based because it was a lot smaller then. You couldn't hear shit where it was coming from. You get off the train station. I didn't know which way to go. But I got there real late because I was working because I'm a good boy. And I just followed the line of fat fucks coming this way. Well, that guy's massively fat. And he's coming from there, so I reckon he's barbecue that way. So I just went where all the fat fucks were coming from, and then I found it. So we're all going to move to Australia. Yeah, with meat stock, fucking oath. Well, you know, the food over here is so good, man. And it's because Australia doesn't really have a food. Like, we don't really have a culinary thing other than absorbing every other country's. So we've got this just massive assortment of different, you know, we've got the same westernized Chinese and shit that you guys have over there, but when you venture into areas where there's little enclaves of certain nationalities, you get the genuine stuff. So if you like Middle Eastern food or grilled stuff, whatever, Turkish stuff, you go to like Campbelltown sort of area, around that area, sort of southwest Sydney, and there's heaps of that stuff, real authentic. If you want like really authentic Chinese and, you know, Asian food, Indian food. Places like around Belmore and that, there's all these little hole-in-the-wall restaurants that are super authentic, but they look like a tiny hole in the wall, but that's where you get the good stuff. And then, of course, you go into the city to like Chinatown, and you get some pretty authentic stuff around there. But it's starting to reach out here. We're starting to get Asian supermarkets and stuff in Penrith, which is great. And we can find all that sort of more obscure shit that you need to cook the authentic styles, which is fantastic. See you, Lou. Take it easy, mate. I can't remember the last time I saw a snake here. They're not everywhere like people make it out to be. Your bike's 195 horsepower. Fuck yeah. Is that a Blackbird, Wes? Did you say you got a Blackbird? Seem to remember a Blackbird. Was it a Hayabusa? It was one of the two. I remember they were the sort of the two big horsepower bikes that came out at the same time. Thanks again, Brad. No worries, mate. Anytime. Well, not anytime. Saturday mornings. See you on live stream tomorrow if you're going to be around in the morning. Anyone make a meat smoke amp? I'm not sure what that would entail. Frank Sultana is good. Yeah, he's fantastic. Thought the meat smoke was my dream bass amp, but Lyle was mentioning something suspect about quality. Oh, hang on. Is meat smoke a name of a fucking amp? Really? Let me look that up. Meat smoke. Velerin. Meat smoke. Varellin, sorry. Meat smoke. Alright, let's see if we can get a gut shot. Probably not. Like all the boutique amps, they try and hide their gut shots. Okay, I think we've got a photo here. Ugh. What? Okay, hang on. Is this the guy that keeps trying to suck money out of people for the supposed solid state valve replacement that never seems to materialize, but every 6 months he comes out asking for more money? Is it that fucker? Reddit. Ugh. Okay, in the preview there was a photo. My eye's starting to twitch. Low resolution. What are they hiding? Every time. Look. Yeah. You can't click on it. Jesus. Is that the guy's hairdo? Dude, let it go. You're going bald, bro. Just deal with it. Can't click it. Looks super sparse. Oh, here we go. What the fuck is up with the lead dress? There's not a lot going on here today. I was expecting some high gain thing, but let's open a new tab. See if we can zoom in. Alright, so they've got a generic generic power supply board over here. And then they've got a tag board, got bias supply here. You've got, looks like a random mishmash of caps. Looks like almost like used parts. Probably not, but anyway. You've got a board over here for a relay. You've got 1/2 inch of exposed wire. Y. You got 1K screen grids. What am I looking at here? That's your preamps. Why would you lay it out like that? You've got your high. Hang on, why is there 3? What am I looking at there? That's octal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Novel. Yeah, look. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a weird layout, dude. And then you got some preamps up here. What are they then? Hang on. What am I... Oh, hang on. No, sorry. It's 6 output valves. They look like those valves are smaller. Those sockets. But I think it's just me being a retard. Yeah, okay. So 6 output valves because you got 6 screen grids there. Alright. Yeah, that's cool. Shit. That's massive. And then your preamps up here. Yeah, so that makes sense. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It probably does the job. And they've got good separation there between the preamp and the power transformer. Massive chassis. Yeah, I don't know. It probably works fine. Looks reasonably well built. There's stuff I would have done different, but that's always the way with every builder. And if it works, it works. $300-watt bass guitar hybrids. Yeah, I guess that's what that is, because the transformer's fucking massive, and you got 6 output valves. It's an A, bro. Never seen one, probably never will. SVT amp clone. Oh, okay. Minus all the protection circuitry. Massive Hammond iron. Yeah, Hammond makes some massive transformers, eh? They make some big single-ended ones too. Max, even if it was suspect quality, I think if you found one second-hand, you could afford to take it to a tech, because that's a pretty Spartanly built amp. Or they'd probably just have to touch up a few solder joints and stuff. I think what Lyle's referring to is if you were buying one straight up, you may have issues with it. But if you're willing to get it sort of sturdified, roadworthied, if you could chuck a few extra dollars at it, it looks like its bones are workable. Search engine for stuff here is a pain. Got to watch what you click on these days. Yeah. Feel like maybe it's better to find an old SVT and tune it up rather than build a 200-watt iron. Yeah, shipping would kill you, I guess. Yeah. If there was one locally, it'd be alright, but yeah, you're going to be paying through the nose for shipping on that. I've got a Super Bassman 300 just right here, and the thing's a fucking monster. Got to get into that next too. Got to get into everything next. Got to finish everything. Which brings me to the next thing. I think I'm going to piss off, champions. Let's ride it out to 11. Because I need to go get a coffee, something to keep me running. And concentrate. Instead of talking to chat. Trying to find a good amp for my son. Not easy these days for a 500-watt Ampeg cabinet. You looking for a bass amp for your son? Yeah, old meat smoke. For Rellan. So yeah, I don't know if they've progressed at all with that solid state valve, but I've got a feeling that it's AI. Let's delve into it. VLAV, solid state VLAV valve. Right, it's not coming up as one of the first search pages. It's a bunch of forums talking about it. Their search results like the 10th one down. Let's have a look. Let's see if it passes the sniff test. Introducing Octal, now taking pre-orders. They've been taking pre-orders for multiple years now, I believe. So you've got a what looks like aluminium cast back screwed to an aluminium cast front. Not very cost effective unless you're making fucking billions of them and they last forever. Octal is a modern alternative to the traditional power vacuum tube, built to give your amp more headroom. Is that what you want? A stronger and cleaner tone. Is that what you want? and long-term reliability and availability. Well, that's what you do want. You can count on. So let's look closely at these photos. So that is possibly their meat smoke amp. You can see how it's offset? But notice how they're all conveniently always pointing at the camera. It may be that's the way they're designed, I'm not sure. Okay, so marketing hash. Okay, can you give us some more detail? Frequently asked questions. Yes, you said that on the main page. Push-pull circuit. It's designed for amps with a push-pull circuit. Okay, so you can't do single-ended or triode connected. Suits a standard pin-outs. Please forgive some basics. What is... Okay. Please forgive some basics. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Why do we need octals? Okay, I think we all know that. How much will they cost? Yet to be determined. How can you pre-order if you don't know what they cost? I'll change the tone of my amp. Yeah, well, everything changes the tone of your amp to a degree. Okay, so all of this seems pretty fair. It's worth noting the 100 watt amp pushed into full power output actually is... For example, the common Marshall 412 can is 300 on 100 watt, that'd be 140% increase. Yeah, well if you're going off the average or the RMS, not the peak. Well, the octals physically fit in every amp. It's everything all at once. How convenient. Call me cynical. Okay, I don't think we're getting a lot out of this Q&A. Let's not hard information anyway. Let's have a look at the about. Okay, so that's the guys involved. Tektronix design. I mean, I really hope that they come up with a good product and we all end up using them and they get rich. But be honest, champions, do you honestly think that's going to happen? I don't know. Pre-order, sold in sets of 2. Okay, so 1 is a set of 2 for $300. Pre-order. So they just said they don't know what they cost, but you can give them $300. That's setting off red flags to me. Unless they haven't updated the other page. Production will begin once orders are received. The goal is to ship at the end of 2025. Well, times are running out. We will give regular updates. If anyone has purchased these, can you let me know if they've given you any details? I'm tempted to just go fuck it and try a pre-order at them and see what happens. They'll probably see my email address and just go, we're not giving you shit, and give me a refund because I'm going to tear it down as soon as I get it and reverse engineer it. But look, if anyone's bought or given them a pre-order, let me know how your interaction is going with them. Looking at those photos of my brother, they do look like AI, TK, but the reason AI can look like AI is because of soft lighting and shallow depth of field. So when AI tries to copy photography, because it looks up photos, the vast majority of photos online that Google gives you are like professional photos or whatever, marketing photos, and they all have soft lighting, warm hue, with a shallow depth of field. So AI is automatically copying everything, so it's being trained on material that looks like that. So if you take a photo like that, it can sometimes look a little bit like AI because that's what all AI looks like. The main reason I was sus on that photo initially, before I learned about the meat smoke amp and the fact that it was the same company, was that the valves were arranged in a funny arrangement. Like there was 2 diagonally and then there was a third over there. But then looking at the meat smoke amp, that's actually how the valves are laid out. And that is that company's amp. So it would it would be reasonable to assume that they're testing their devices in their amps. So it may be real. I don't know. But all you had to do was make a glowy thing and 3D print it and spray it with a textured paint. And you'd have exactly the same looking thing. Inside it's a LM3886. Somehow I doubt it, Ted. I'm guessing it's probably a bank of MOSFETs with local power supply filtering, possibly. Yeah, probably no connection at all to the screen grid. And then a big, well, moderate sized heatsink. But yeah, I mean, so valve amps are like 30% efficient, 25% efficient. So like when you're running a 100 watt amp, full power, it's drawing up to like 400 watts from the wall. Somewhere between 350 and 400 watts from the wall, so it's pretty inefficient at full power. Class AB amplifiers, so anything with a transistor output stage that's running class AB are their least efficient when they're running at 30% output. So if you really want to test thermal capabilities of a PA amp or a hi-fi amp, you run it at 1/3 power. So say it's a 100 watt amp running around 35 watts, and that will heat up quicker because transistors generate all their heat when they're somewhere between on and off, because they're acting like a resistor essentially, and they end up dissipating heat as a result. Whereas valves dissipate, well, you've got the heater, but they dissipate the most energy when they're pumping the hardest. So I'm a bit sus on like how they're going to perform with that amount of heat, with that smaller heat sink. Don't know, it could work. I really have to sit down and think about it and look up everyone's previous attempts at it, because I'm sure other people have tried it for the output valves as well. And maybe buy some. Don't know about the pre-order thing. It feels a little bit scammy still, because they have been going on about this for multiple years now, and it's always, oh, we'll release them next year. But let's put a pin in it now. They said they're going to start production late 2025. Well, it's now late 2025, so let's see if let's give them the benefit of the doubt and see if sorry, I forget that when I stream for over 3 hours, I need a new mic battery. Where did I cut off? So Joe, I was saying I'll make you a mod for a sec. There you go. You've been here for ages. You can stay a mod. Kick anyone's ass who's been a fuckwit. Thanks, mate. So now you can post your link, Joe, to your son's band. We can go check it out after the stream. So yeah, I don't know where I got cut off, but I was saying if I don't know if you saw my post or not. It's coming up. Well, it's just on 5 years since I started building the shop. No, it was my battery went flat. Wes, it was my fault. But it's coming up to in October. As of October, I've been in business 20 years. So Brad's Guitar Garage was registered in 2005. Sorry. So yeah, 20 years of Brad's Guitar Garage. Fucking hectic, eh? Just pull down the makeup gain there a bit. I think I'm clipping on the peaks a bit. So yeah, 20 years ago when I registered the business, I thought fucking... I'll just do this for a couple of months and see if anything comes of it. But I didn't know that 20 years later I'd have a shop. 15 years later I'd have a shop. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 20 years, man. It's half my life, dude. Yeah, 20 years of Brad's Guitar Garage and 5 years of the shop. Somehow still here. Anyway, champions, it's just about to go 11 o'clock, so I'm going to piss off and get a coffee. Now I'm going to come back and test this thing. It's probably due, well, it's definitely due for a recap, but they're all currently still performing okay, so I could give the owner that option. Or just wait till something goes wrong. If he's not using it as a main touring amp, you can deal with it if something happens. Anyway, well, I'm gonna take off, champions. Go and enjoy your weekend instead of watching me. And I'll see you bright and early on live stream. Hopefully he follows through on his promise and does a live stream tomorrow. Same with me in animation. 30 years. You'll be 60 in January. Holy shit, Wes. What are you doing for your 60th? Coming to Australia, aren't you? Hope so. You can stay here. You don't have to go back, mate. It's alright. My views dropped off dramatically at about an hour ago. Oh yeah, that's when I opened. So that was when I went quiet. It's amazing how the views drop off and they don't come back. Peak concurrent views 80 something. 74. There you go. Not too bad. We used to do bigger numbers than that, but everyone's probably sick of fucking social media and the internet in general at the moment, so yeah. There you go, there's Joe's link. I hope you made that read-only, Joe. Google Drive. Let me check. Oh, got a customer. Alright, I'm going to go, champions. Take it easy.